Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jay Banks. Tuesday. What are we, how many days away from Christmas are we right now? 7 days.
6 days.
6 days. Less than a week.
Less than a week.
And we got the big guy here today.
We do.
I'm excited for this one, man.
Very excited, man. Who would have thought this was going to happen, man?
Like you? You've been asking for it since 2019.
I have been asking for it, you know. But if you put it out there, it may happen, and it has happened.
Yes, sir.
But no better time than now to introduce the one and only
Santa Claus himself. What's going on,
Santa?
sir?
Oh, hello. You guys were on the nice list, so I thought I would come down and visit with you.
Hey, I've been trying. I've been trying this year, man. 2023. It's been rough for everybody, but to be on your good list is a good thing, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for this podcast.
Yeah, me too. I mean, we're about to dive into the world of Santa and see what it's like for him on his end of things. Because of course, I have a daughter who's 4, and she wrote a little letter to Santa, and on her end of things, she's like looking forward to the different what surprises may come in store for her. But like from his end, he's getting letters, I'm sure, by the millions of letters that are coming into him. So like from his perspective, with what's happening with the elves and the reindeer and everything a part of that, let's dive in. Let's see what we're about here, because I'm excited, man. Let's go. Let's get it. So the first thing is do you go by Santa normally when you're introducing yourself, or is it like what's your normal introduction if you're meeting a stranger on the street? Like Santa, Kris Kringle, like where are you at?
Well, that really depends on what part of the world I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm Santa Claus, sometimes I'm St. Nicholas, and sometimes I'm the Winter Wizard.
Okay. All right.
There are various levels of names that I go by, depending on what country, what region, and where I might be at that particular time.
Okay.
That makes sense. So you just adapt to the situation and what makes the most sense with who you're talking to.
Right. Well, right here I am known as Santa Claus, and occasionally I get called Kris Kringle.
Oh yeah.
Which is an honor.
Which one do you like better?
Oh, I don't really mind. Back at the North Pole, I'm called Papa Claus.
It is.
That's what Mrs. Claus calls me. Mama Claus, she calls me Papa Claus.
Okay, nice, man. And so you're down here at Newport on the Levee with us, man, which is great. And you spent a couple days here. You're down taking photos with the kids and with the families and dogs. And have you had a chance to take a picture with a cat yet?
No, I haven't.
So. And that's something that like I've been begging the levee to make happen, because you're allowed to bring dogs and cats down to the levee as long as they're on a leash, and obviously as long as they're on the they're not on the naughty list. But being able to bring your dog or cat here and take a photo with you, like I said, as long as they're on the leash, I'm like, somebody's got to bring one of their cats down here just do a photo shoot, because it's such a rarity that any place allows cats.
Right. I mean, we've talked about a cat on a leash for a while.
Yeah.
I'd love to see one. There's been some pretty small dogs. There was a wiener dog in here, a dachshund that came the other day. But no cats. Not yet. We're waiting for it. Or I wouldn't mind seeing like someone bring some maybe a monkey or some kind of random things. The levee brings all sorts of random people, and people want to come here and flaunt their pets. And I'm sure someone out there's got some exotic animal I'd like to see.
I'm really surprised I haven't seen any ferrets.
Ferrets, yeah.
Ferrets are big in some areas, and I have not seen any here yet.
Ferrets,
that one surprises me.
Yeah, I actually had a ferret as a pet, and they are so fun, dude. Like, we would let, like, obviously we had a cage for it at nighttime, but we would let it run around the house, and I had like one of those baseball bat tubes, like if you got a baseball bat autographed, you can get one of those little clear tubes. I would just set it up on the couch and like just aim it towards the ground, and all day the Nico was his name, but he would hop on the couch, slide down the thing, hop on the couch, slide down the thing. But apparently I don't know if it's true or not, but the word ferret means like thief in another language, and they steal everything, dude. Everything. Like if you're ever missing something, it's under your bed. And like I even caught Nico one time trying to take one of those big like 24 packs of toilet paper. He was trying to pull it behind the couch. Like this thing's like 1.5 feet wide, and the couch is only like 6 inches from the wall. And he's like, I just see this thing just scooting across the ground, and then it's like I just see it like trying to make its way behind the couch.
Yeah.
It's like, what is happening, dude?
What are you doing?
Yeah,
That's funny.
My
That's funny.
favorite baseball glove, like when I was playing baseball, I couldn't find it anywhere. I had to go buy a new one, and then we had some relatives in town, and one of the kids found it like underneath my mom's bed. He's like, "Hey, I found a baseball glove." I'm like, "Where'd you find that at?" I've been looking everywhere, man.
Ferret,
Thief.
man. Thief's
in the night, but cute as can be, bro. Cute as can be. All right, so when it comes to the reindeers, is Rudolph really the top of the food chain? Is he the one that gets the party going for everybody?
So Rudolph is my youngest reindeer.
Okay.
He came along in about the 1860s, somewhere around there.
Oh, wow.
That's right.
All right.
All my other reindeer are very, very old, but they're very, very important to me. So is Rudolph the top of the food chain? I would say no. I think they're all very important.
Very cool. Any of them cause you trouble?
Rudolph.
Rudolph, yeah.
He's
all
the
right.
prankster of the bunch.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
That's great. So we were talking earlier about like Christmas presents. I know you want to talk about like the new ones that are out, like the gifts that are hot for 2023 for the kids. And when you told me that, I'd right away I was like, man, I really want to talk about like the toys of the 80s and the 90s as well, because like, you know, there's always that one year when we were growing up, and it was like we got that one present that just came out that we just saw in like the Toys R Us magazine. You know what I mean? Like, I remember going through the Toys R Us magazine and just circling everything you wanted. That thing was like. It was bigger than any book I ever read. Dude.
Right? Yeah, they stuffed
but
everything.
But I read that front to back.
Yeah, you knew it front to back. You know, a page. You're like you even ripped the page out that you wanted. Like, I mean, yeah, for sure. That's the best part is like back then, like because things are so digital now, it's like Amazon shopping and it's like that kind of thing that you're looking for and you're seeing the promotion. But when it was just straight books, you just had to flip the next page and just hope the next best thing was on the next page. It was like that level of excitement that now it's different. It's changed because you know technology, but like there's nothing better than like just a magazine that you're looking through and all of a sudden you see that item that you want. You take it out, you put it on like I gotta stay on the nice list type thing. You know what I mean? Like that's for sure. Especially
when it's a video game and it's like drops December 19th and you're like, oh my god, like there's only like 6 days for my you know for Santa to get it.
So Amazon actually does send out a magazine, does send out a catalog, and inside the catalog
I'm blown
they
away.
give you stickers, right?
Oh, okay.
And you place the stickers by the toys that you want. And I've had several children bring me these catalogs this year.
Holy cow, that's so smart.
Right, it is really cool. It almost takes it back a few years.
Interesting.
That's
interesting.
We used to talk about that.
Wow.
I do remember. I remember the Sears catalogs being
Oh,
brought
yeah.
to me. Oh yeah.
Yeah, my growing up, my dad was a big printer in Chicago, and then he moved out here. He moved the family out here when the printing company opened up another warehouse out here. But we were doing he was printing like the Bloomingdale's catalogs and like all those Christmas catalogs. It was cool to see, man, because we would get those things 4 or 5 months before they would be sent out in the mail, right? So even like the Sports Illustrateds, like when I was a kid, I was like 10 years old, I would have the Sports Illustrated, the swimsuit edition.
Oh, no.
I was like,
Santa.
Oh
my goodness. That was the naughty years.
Yeah, I'd bring it to school, and I'd get in trouble for bringing it to school. But then be like, yeah, you can't take that. I'll get in real trouble if I don't get that back.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I remember those years, those naughty years of yours.
Oh yeah,
Yep,
right. I've straightened out. I've figured it out.
I do remember the big push for the most popular toys, I believe, started with the Cabbage Patch doll.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's been that soon.
Yeah.
I remember not being able to get enough out to all the children.
Yeah.
It was crazy how many children wanted that.
That's insane, and that was I remember that because my mom, she was trying to get them at the time and she couldn't find any, and she ended up making some, and she was flipping them, she was reselling them, but she was making her own versions for a while. No box included.
No box included.
Yeah.
But did they have the birth certificate?
No, definitely not.
Oh, okay.
Definitely not. That was the trick, man. The birth certificate and the little name on the butt cheek or what What was it? Yeah, it was just a little Cabbage Patch logo right on the butt cheek there.
Like a tattoo.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of the original ones sitting over there. It's got it on there.
You know, speaking of that kind of stuff, like, how often do you get asked about Turbo Man?
Turbo
from like Jingle All the Way.
You know, I have been asked a couple times, but not very often.
Not that often?
No,
Oh, that's
I was really surprised. And the Red Ryder BB gun, I don't get asked very often, which really surprises me.
That's also surprising.
It's always on TV every Christmas.
Yeah.
Right.
Although I have been asked for a 1911. It took me a while to figure out what that was, and it turns out that's from a video game, I presume.
Oh, okay.
I actually have children ask me for that. I guess they're looking for the toy because Santa doesn't bring the real thing.
Right. That's fun. When you said that, I automatically thought about a little PowWow.
Yeah, that's right.
But
interesting.
so when it comes to Christmas music, what's your favorite? What like the one song that comes on that just really just gets you jolly, that really just kind of starts making those hips sway.
I do like. Well, I'd have to say my favorite is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Okay.
Okay.
Classic.
Of course.
Jingle Bell Rock always gets me going. 'Cause
Hey.
I
Oh, yeah.
like a little rock and roll.
Oh, yeah.
That's always fun.
I love that song from when it was in Home Alone. You know, when he's got the house and he's trying to make it look like there's a big party in there.
Oh,
So like,
yeah.
he's got all the Michael Jordan
Yeah.
cardboard cutouts all moving around the room and stuff.
That's probably one of my early experience of hype music in a movie. Because
Right.
you just got so hyped during that scene. Like, yeah, that's funny.
You know what's wild? I actually posted a photo of Macaulay Culkin this morning because he was a big sneakerhead when he was like 10, 11 years old.
Yeah.
And he was wearing the Reebok pumps that I had. And I think you got them for me when I was, maybe 6th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, but it was like a turning point. Like when I got those shoes, I was immediately a sneakerhead. I'm like, this is incredible.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Being able to pump them up and then all of a sudden they feel like they're tied around your ankles. It's like, I don't even have to tie the shoes.
Right.
Like, this is crazy.
That is crazy. Yes.
Yeah, man. But Home Alone is definitely a classic. So did you was Kevin McAllister on the good list that year?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, man.
It was all acting.
Yeah.
He's actually a good kid.
Oh yeah, yeah. He seems like he's still doing well too. Just got the Hollywood Walk of
He
Fame.
did. I know.
That's awesome to see.
That is awesome to see. Yeah.
So let's talk about the Christmas presents a little bit, man.
Yeah.
There's you've got some new stuff in here for 2023 that all the kids have been asking about.
Yes. So I visit with probably a couple thousand children each week. Okay. And I can tell you some of the things that I get asked for the most. Okay. And sometimes, let me break it down by age group. Okay. Because one of the toughest age groups that I get from parents is, how do I purchase toys or gifts for my teenagers?
Mm-hmm.
Teenagers are hard because if you ask them, they're going to give you, I don't want anything.
Right.
Or they just want money. But that's not fun.
Right.
But I'll tell you right now, teenagers love clothes. Okay? You were talking about gym shoes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, those are
yeah.
a big thing. But they also like hoodies and t-shirts and hats. A matter of fact, your brand is one that I get asked for. Wait, let's see what I have.
Oh man.
Hey,
Let's see here.
I'm here for this.
let's go. Let's
I
go.
let me talk about a couple things here. Oh, here we go.
Hey, I'm wearing that right now.
There's your ombre shirt.
Yes,
Very
sir.
good.
Cincinnati Harambe that's the most popular team to never play a sport.
This would be a wonderful present for a teenager.
Hey.
Oh yeah,
There you go.
the vintage Taz shirt.
Absolutely. I mean, who doesn't like Bugs Bunny and Taz?
Right, especially wearing the Bengals outfits right there.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Hey,
Then you got to go straight up for the brand, right?
for sure. That one there is great, man, because that's that's a cross between. It's when mom tells you need to wear something nice to church. That's the Eddie Bauer sweater, so it's nice and comfortable and it looks good with a pair of khakis, but then you can still represent the brand
Yeah.
without.
So they like the soft clothes too, very much like a hoodie that's soft,
Oh yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, let's see here. One of the other things that go over very well with teenagers Let me get this out here. Oh, we've got a great
Man,
line
he's got
of
the
hats.
limited edition hats in that
I
bag.
know, right?
How'd he
I
get
do.
those?
Well, my elves are amazing people. So we got.
Oh yeah,
these
so
could
the
work very well for a teenager.
absolutely. So that one there is perfect for somebody in Kentucky with the 859, and then you got the Bengals version there with the 513.
That's great.
Oh yeah, that whiteout hat. Those are hard to keep in stock, man. So we're gonna have to get those elves to
Well,
To
right
keep pumping
now
those
my
out.
elves are just about complete with everything. So if you don't have it, you may have to come up here to get it.
Oh
this
right.
week. And then we have the brand.
Oh yeah, that Arch logo, so classic, man.
Yeah, you should hold that the white hat up by yourself if you don't mind. Yeah, yeah, that's perfect. Both of them. That's great. Thank you. That's awesome.
Absolutely. These make wonderful presents for the older kids.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I do get asked for this frequently.
that's
yeah.
awesome, man.
I mean, like you said before, like the parents are not really like, they know they want something, but the teens aren't really speaking out about it. They just they're navigating life and doing their thing and not really being as transparent or communicative about what they want. So like clothing goes a really long way. Something,
That's right.
yeah, something edgy, some hats, like the hats, like we were saying, like some limited edition stuff that you just pulled out. So
Very good.
yeah.
Another thing that goes over very well that I get asked for is sports gear.
always.
You know, I mean, everybody right now, it's Cincinnati. The Bengals gear is so hot.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So you can't go wrong with that.
Right. Yeah.
So that's another very popular thing of the older kids, right? A lot of the older kids, believe it or not, I get asked for art supplies.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
Drawing and
That's a good
coloring,
thing.
Different, the special markers and the pencils and the stuff to do that with. I get asked that quite a bit.
That's awesome, man.
So,
Creativity,
that's
you got to
good.
keep pushing that.
That's right, and the older kids do like that. In fact, I remember a few years ago, there was a thing out called a spirograph.
Oh yeah.
And you didn't have to have any talent at all. You could just put the pen in there and do all the crazy colors, and it came out wonderful.
Oh yeah.
So
That would be neat to have on a T-shirt version where
Yeah.
you could do those type of like calligraphy on an actual piece of fabric. That would be
neat.
cool.
I have to think
Next
about
year
that,
to tell them elves.
I might have to bring you up for some research and development, right?
Hey, if you want to send me to the North Pole, I will be there in a heartbeat.
Well, you
Yeah,
know,
let's
if
go.
you come up,
For
you've got to be
sure.
one of my elves, and you do know what it takes to become an elf.
I don't.
I have to pin you up by your ears and hold you up by your ears till your ears are pointy.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready for that?
I've only got one, so I don't know how well I would hang up on the.
Yeah, you have to have an extender or something.
You can have an elf make one. I've got.
Oh, okay. We can work with that.
Yeah, you remember that. I got assaulted like 6 years ago. I had my ear cut off, my left eye detached in a robbery.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
No worries, man. No worries. I'm just I'm gonna have to get a prosthetic on this one, and then you can just hang me by this. I'm sure this one will hold the weight.
Well, we'll do it in half the time then, right?
There you go.
Yeah, all right. Very
There you
good.
go.
Half the time.
How was it? Did you get a chance to meet Buddy the Elf when he was there?
I did.
You did.
Yeah.
Was he is he as funny in person?
He is a blast. I can't let him and Rudolph near each other.
Oh,
They're just too much.
That's
much, yeah.
hilarious.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
then that's what I feel like I would be when I went to the North Pole. Like I would have to put on the yellow tights, and then every time I see our buddy, I'd be like Santa.
Right. Santa.
All the elves would just be like, dude, get back to work.
Yeah, dude, get back to work. Yeah, you're making us all look bad, man. We got people out here.
Yeah, we got some signs over here too that people can hold up if they want to
Yeah.
say hi to Santa. Have we checked online to see if there's any questions?
I've not seen anything yet, but
I'll take a check right now.
so when you're like, getting things prepared and like maybe like 2-3 months away, what's the biggest stress that you have in regards of like getting things prepared for Christmas? Is it the sleigh? Is it making sure the reindeer are, healthy? Like what's the most important thing that stresses you out until you know it's secure, and then it's time to hit the skies.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I don't get stressed out.
You don't get stressed out.
No,
Okay.
Mrs. Claus does all that for me.
Oh, okay.
She manages the North Pole for me, really. I know I get all the credit, but honestly, she's the one that keeps it rolling. I get to come out here and play and meet the children and the people and do all the fun stuff and podcasts like these. Mrs. Claus is up at the North Pole buckling it all down right now and getting everything tightened up. That's right. So
That's
I don't
awesome.
really stress out. I get to do all the fun stuff.
Oh yeah, you do get all the fun stuff. How does she feel about that?
You know what? She's a really good person. She handles it really well. That's why I like to give her a shout out for all the hard work that she puts in. I take most of the credit, but that's not fair.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, if she's holding it down, I mean, she got to get her credit for sure.
Mama
So
Claus.
Shout out to Mrs. Claus, and we still have more people coming around.
Yeah, that's I kind of look at life as a chess game. You know, you've got your pawns, you got your castles. You know, you lose pawns throughout your life. Those are friends. You know, the king, all the moves are calculated. The queen can do whatever she wants. She can go here, she can go there, she can go left, she can go right. She can do whatever she wants. But without the queen in the game of chess, it's really hard to win. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's kind of like an analogy of life. You know, it's like it's so much easier to win in life when you have the queen. You know, and that's there to protect the king. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Behind every great man, there's a great woman.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Shout out to Kaylin. She's been spending the past couple days hanging out with Barkley.
Yeah.
Which by the way, I need to let everyone know he's doing so much better.
It's great. Great.
Shout out to the Riverview Animal Hospital in Bellevue. They saved his life a couple of years ago, and then I didn't know what was going on, but he wasn't able to walk. He was just whining. We brought him in immediately, and then the next morning they called. And I said he's not doing any better, so we brought him back in. That was on Saturday, which most vets are even closed on Saturdays. But we brought him in. They gave him some more pain meds or some like muscle relaxers because I think he might have like sprained something in his back. That's what I'm assuming happened.
Interesting. Okay.
But you know, it's tough, man. It's like a little kid. Like you're asking him what's wrong, and you know, he can't tell you. You just know that it hurts.
Yeah.
But shout out to Riverview Animal Hospital. You guys did an amazing job. Barkley is back to being Barkley, as happy as can be. And my wife thanks you guys because she was a wreck for the past 3 days. So, but yeah, Barkley's good. Everything's awesome, and I appreciate everybody for your prayers and comments about something as simple as an animal, because you know, to a lot of people that's family. So.
Yeah, no, it is family. I mean, they're a member that may not have as long of a life, but you care for them like you. I mean, you have them. A lot of people have their animals from 6 weeks and on. You know what I mean? They have them from the very beginning. So, I recently lost my Howard back in October, so I've been still processing, still dealing with. I had a Jack Russell Wiener dog. He was 14, and he left. It was his time to go, and but I have two others. I have two other dogs, so I had a group of 3. Now I'm down to my duo, and they hold the fort down. But I miss my little Howard. He'd been there for a lot of cool moments. I took Howard on the road before. I took Howard. He was at shows. He used to perform in a band. I took Howard everywhere. He was a great dog. But shout out to Howard.
He's
Howard,
a real road dog.
He was a real road dog, man. Howard just did his thing. He always stayed by me. He didn't run off. He didn't wander. I think he just didn't really like anybody else but me, so it was easy for him to stay by me. But like, yeah, man. Shout out to Howard.
I don't think I've ever told you, but I absolutely love that photo of you and him at the bar where he's just sitting on your shoulder, just hanging out.
Oh yeah, at Neons. I mean? Yeah, and that was
Neons. All right, so he could have been running around doing whatever he wants at Neons.
Yeah. I took him to Neons every weekend.
He just
stayed by me.
That place was so cool for pups.
I know. It was, man. What a change in the. I mean, that place it's a different location now, but that place is still open. I don't know if they allow animals though. I'm sure they might.
Yeah, I don't know.
I haven't been there. Like it was Rosedale's.
The Rosedale's,
yeah. But
I'm sure they do. That's one of Bob Deck's place.
Yeah,
they're always
gotta let. I mean, it's outside. You're outside. So, but I used to take Howard there like pretty often because they allowed animals. There were always other dogs there, so you could just everyone could get that social interaction going, and just as good as going to a dog park.
Yeah,
like
I got a question that just popped in my head. So when you're going to from house to house, like some of these dogs are guard dogs, right? But like, do they feel the presence of Santa? Because like my dog knows there's a Santa, right? Like he's always sniffing the presents, and he knows about Christmas.
Yeah.
So it's like when you come down the chimney and you're setting up your little stage there for the presents. Like when a dog finds you, like what do you have a little dog treat that you pull out, a little dog candy cane?
So over the years, I have experienced quite a few different scenarios, but finally I came up with the perfect solution.
Okay.
I sprinkle a little happy dust on them.
Oh, all
and
right.
They lay down, and sometimes I'll rub their belly.
Oh, wow.
Just kick back, and then they go back off to where they're sleeping.
Can we purchase that happy dust on Amazon?
Oh, I don't know. That's tough to come by.
Okay.
I need all that I can keep because there's so many dogs out there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, we need to start spreading that happy dust on some fellow people around here in the towns.
Yeah.
Get back in that Christmas spirit.
I know. I mean, people should be excited because the Bengals are winning. Despite everything that's happened, like we should be a happy town. I know it's like it's a hard time. The world's a hard place and things are crazy and uncertainty and everything that's going on in the world right now. But there's definitely room for some positive thinking, some hope that the future is bright, and you know what I mean. And when things happen, like people, you can either back down or you can step up. And like us humans, resilience. There's resilience in us, and this holiday season, I hope everyone is finding that resilience in themselves and hugging anyone they got close to them tight, or maybe making new friends and new loved ones, because tomorrow you could meet your new best friend, the new person that you spend your time with. You never know. Everything, the future is uncertain. So like that positivity and that it reigns through, man. Like I always say creativity breeds creativity. When you creative people around each other, more creativeness happens. And same thing with happiness and spreading joy. Like we're in this crazy world that's so uncertain. And if you just go you just smile at someone or say hi or pat someone on the back and give some physical touch, like those different little notions can go a long way, because some people can go a long time without even getting someone to smile at them. You know what I mean?
For sure, smile does go a long way.
Yeah, it does. It really does. So.
And so when you're at the grocery store, right? Like obviously, you're trying to be inconspicuous. It's happened to me a bunch of times where I'll be walking through a grocery store and a kid they'll pull on mom's jacket and they'll go, "Mom, look, a pirate." And for me, like I love it. I'm 100% okay with it, because kids relate the white beard to Santa Claus. They relate the eye patch to a pirate. But the mom is always like, like trying to stop the kid and don't embarrass yourself or don't embarrass me. And so I used to carry these little business style cards. It was actually like a map. A treasure map, and I would rip them up into little squares, and it said, "I am a pirate, but don't tell anybody." And then there was a little, if they could find the little hidden treasure, a little hidden code on the paper, they can go on the website, type it in, you can get a free pack of stickers. So for me, doing things like that, because it's it doesn't bug me if somebody points at me and goes, "Oh, look, there's a pirate," unless you're 35 years old and drunk at a bar. It's a little annoying then. But if it's a 8-year-old kid, it's like kids are kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you're walking through, I'm sure you get it all the time, even if you're trying to not be Santa while you're at the grocery store, but like you're Santa. You know what I mean? And I'm sure there's tons of kids that always come up to you and, tap you on the shoulder or just say, "Hey, hi." And it's just one of those things where for me, instead of having that awkward moment where mom doesn't want the kid to say anything, it's like you break the ice and just, I give him a little business card that says, "Hey, I am." You know what I mean? You were right. And it makes everybody feel better. It makes mom feel better. It makes the kids feel better. It makes me feel better. It breaks all the tension, right? Is there anything that you do that, when you're at the grocery store, that when the kid knows you're Santa and the mom's like, don't bug that guy.
They don't have their letter with them. They missed the chance. They missed the opportunity to give the letter. But I mean, yeah.
Only on occasion do I actually make visits to grocery stores.
Okay.
The North Pole, everybody already knows who I am, so I really don't get stopped.
All right.
However, I do have many, many, many people that help me out. And those who do look like me tend to get stopped. And I make it very clear to them that they must act Santa-like.
Oh, very cool.
That's right. It's very important that they keep up my persona for me.
Yeah.
Because without that, kids lose interest and they lose faith in me.
For sure.
That's important. So everybody that looks like me, I ask that you go ahead and shh, real quiet, give them a nod.
Yeah.
And move on.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's yeah. It's a fact. I can only the other day we were out and there was a guy that resembled you, and Charlie was like, Santa, and I was like, no, I don't think so. I don't think that's him. He was not dressed in anything Christmas apparel at all. And I was like, I don't think so. And she's like, can I say hi? I was like, I'm sure you can say hi, but I don't think he's gonna. There's no Santa. It's not Santa. He's not here right now. He's not because we were grocery shopping actually at Walmart. But it was just like, no. He's just. I don't know what to tell her. Like, I'm not gonna tell her that because she was like so hyped, and it's not that far from Christmas, so she's seen people out, and he was just dressed in normal clothes. But I was like, no. But she's like, say it. I was like, no, we have to go. So we went the opposite direction, but I didn't know exactly how to. Just like I don't know how to react to it because I was like, she's 4 and she's seen resemblance of Santa, even though I know that's not Santa. I could tell it wasn't. It definitely wasn't you, and it was just hard for me. I was just like, no, but we're gonna see Santa soon. It was right before I brought her to you, the following Saturday. But it was like one of those little moments with her, and she's just like her eyes lit up, so like she's ready. She knows it's coming. She's got her Santa list. We got to go down to Gatlinburg and got to see you down there, and that was a cool experience too. And she gave you a letter and all that, and like I was like, you already got your letter. He's got it. You don't have to let him know. He knows. But it was just a little moment that in her mind, she was ready to like move the cart that way, Dad. Like, what are we doing? Like, we're like, come on. I was like, I don't know. Like, we don't want to interrupt this. He had some dog food. He was holding some dog food. He's got to go feed his deer. Like this dog. Do you have a pup? Do you have a pup?
I do.
Yeah. Do you have a pup?
I do. Her name is Sparkles.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's great.
That's awesome.
She's just a little fluff ball. She does have no other job up at the North Pole other than to keep me and Mrs. Claus company.
Oh yeah. She runs the house.
Yeah, she does.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, same. I get it.
That's how it is for all dogs, man.
Seriously, yeah, mine do too. Man, Coda escaped again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling you that. Yeah, it's like I don't know what to do to keep that dog. I have a husky, and he and I have a pretty decently sized. I have a privacy fence that like most 90%.
You need a camera back there just to see where he's getting
out at. I don't know.
He's probably way slicker than you think.
I will tell you right now, huskies up in the North Pole, we can't keep them contained. They are so smart and they're sneaky.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I can see Coda just walking up like in between the tree and the fence, just like putting the paws out.
Yeah, I swear I don't know how he does. Last time he was only out for like 3 minutes. It wasn't even that long. He must have had the idea. Whatever he had, the previous time he went outside, he figured it out. So that's how smart he is, because he's thinking about the last time I was out here. I found out how to get out, but I just didn't have enough time. This time, he just shut the door. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how you know what I mean? It's like he just shut the door. I'm free for at least probably 5 minutes, and I went back less than 3 minutes just to check, and I'll knock on the window, and they run to the door normally. I look back, and I don't see. I submit another one who, Penny, she's not leaving at all. She's going to stay right where she's at. And I look around like, I don't see Coda. I look around the bin, no Coda anywhere, and I'm like, oh, no. Ran around up front, and I yelled his name immediately outside my front door, and I see him like come around the bin, look at me, and I'm just like, sit down. and he sits from like maybe like half a block away, and I walk over to him, and he tries to like back away. I'm like, nope, come here. He walks to me. I grab him right away. So like that was an easy time to catch him. Sometimes I have to take my car through the city and like find him, but like that time it was quick because he had just got out. It was like maybe 3 minutes, so it wasn't like he had a lot of time to get away. But man, sometimes I've had to chase him for like half an hour to find him because those huskies go fast.
Oh, yeah.
He's like a deer. He's like a
they're my runners.
Yeah.
You know, that's exactly what they are bred to do. They run. They take the sleighs and they go.
Yeah. That so is like they're like reindeer training, like how
There
like because you said running with the husky, so it reminded me of like
well, okay, so there is right now. Our reindeer are actually finally taking a break because they have been working so hard for the last couple months to get all pumped up for our overnight delivery, the original overnight delivery.
okay.
That's right. Amazon doesn't have anything on us.
No, they don't. Right.
But yeah, they've been training for the last couple months, and now they're finally taking their break just before we get ready for our big night, and they're all finally relaxing.
Okay.
Getting ready. It's getting close. And yes, you know what? They do train with the Huskies. That's how come I know the Huskies are such runners.
They train with the Huskies.
They do.
Interesting.
That's smart.
That is smart. I definitely get it. I've watched him. I can't keep up. My car can do it. That's about all I can do. Like really, when he goes and he's so agile, he just bounces. Like literally, it like reminds me of a deer when he's running. I'm like, man, how's a dog like this? Like my other dogs I've had in the past, like I used to have a American Eskimo, which is all white, very very pretty dogs. They were bred from like the early Germans and to like watch rooms, and then like I didn't even know that was the purpose until because we had two over my early years, and the first one he would sit in the corner and he would just watch everything, whatever, and that's it was what his name was Peppy. That's what he did. And then we got PJ, Peppy Jr., a different lineage, but we just named him that because he looked the same. And he did the same thing. And I was like, why are these? That's what Peppy used to do. They're not related. Why is he sitting in the same spot? How would he have even known that Peppy did that? Like he would never have known. It was like 3 years after we had lost the first one to get the next one. Then I looked up that they were bred and trained to basically be like a watch and see eye dog that just watched the whatever room they were guarding, and they stayed in the corner and they watched, and that's how they were bred. So like that it was crazy to even see in real time because I always thought it was weird. I was like, why is he doing the same thing?
All right,
strange.
I'm gonna break this up real quick. We have a couple kid questions here.
Cool.
So Kinley, she is 10 years old, and she agrees with Santa that she loves art supplies. So that's right there in the honey hole. But Kinley wants to know how many elves Santa has.
Oh, it's really hard to keep track of that many elves.
Especially when you're recruiting people like me to come up.
Right.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, so I actually don't know. When I say I count on Mrs. Claus is kind of the one that would know, but it's really hard because it's like any other city. Mm-hmm. There's always people coming and joining and always growing. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
We've got thousands of elves up there right now.
That's
awesome.
I
can say that.
All right, and Shavonna Haggerty, her daughter Allie wants to know if she'll be able to get a special gift for being good on Friday before she goes to her grandparents for Christmas.
Ooh.
So she's got to be good or she's not going to get it.
I will see what I can do, but I never make any promises, though.
So,
that's right.
Yeah.
Allie, you just got to be good, girl.
I will see what I can do. You try extra hard, and I will do my best for you. How's that?
Absolutely. So, Shavonna, if you're hearing that, let Allie know. Just do your best, be as good as you can be, and then we'll see if we can make it happen for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Cool. So, oh, look, Yam's watching. Bring him on.
Yeah.
I can bring you on right now on this thing. That's wild. I wonder if that'll work. So that you'll just go on to. I just clicked you to bring you on the video.
Nice.
I wonder what that'll do. I don't know. I just sent you a request. Never seen that before.
So with technology products, as we're dealing with them right now, how often are you asked for those rather than the conventional toys? Legos. We talked about that a little bit.
Yeah, I wonder if is the iPhone still a huge gift for kids? Like, is everyone asking for the iPhone still?
It is requested frequently. Okay, but must understand that not everyone can have an iPhone.
Right.
Yeah.
So it is a highly requested toy or gift. Not really toys.
It's not really a toy, yeah.
Because a lot of responsibility comes to having a phone.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And being access to social media, there's a lot of responsibility behind it.
Yeah.
So we have to assess that. I talk it over with parents, and we try to figure out if it's really appropriate yet. Some children, they ask for them.
Man, you throw Santa a curveball, gone. You throw him a lob, gone. He's hitting every one of these out of the park.
He is hitting them out of the park. Like, these are great answers. I mean, the phone does come a lot of responsibility, because if you do give a phone, you can't undo that can of worms, because they make social profiles. They, their phone number and things are locked up into different accounts and emails. And
that was my thing, is the phone number. I couldn't lose the number once I had it. It was I don't know why. It was that could be one of the reasons why the native brand is one area code based, is because there's people who have so an unwritten rule to the tie of the town that they're in. You might move to California, but you're still I want the 513 area code. I want the 859 area code.
Right.
I don't want 213.
Yeah.
But for some reason it doesn't make a difference, right? But
it doesn't make a difference
other than how it makes you feel.
Yeah. Other than you have those three first. There's digits.
You got to rep the city,
right?
That you love,
even though you're not really repping it, other than when you first exchange the number until they put your name in,
right?
And then they don't see the number anymore; they see your name.
Yep.
But for those first few minutes, essentially when they say, "What's your number?" Well,
conversation starter.
Yeah, I'm 859, and they're like, 859. Where are you from? And they're like, well, I'm from Northern Kentucky, and they're like, what are you doing out here? And that's always the conversation. We used to say Cincinnati because it was quicker, because people in a lot of places don't realize that Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky are even by each other, or have anything to do with each other at all. So I learned that pretty quickly growing up. My mother worked for Delta, so we traveled a lot growing up, and people just don't realize that Ohio and Kentucky, or Cincinnati and where we're at, are a river away from each other. And it always blows people's minds that people are like, what? How are Kentucky and Ohio? No. Or Cincinnati? What? Those are next to each other, because people really believe Kentucky is so much more southern than we really are. You know what I mean? So, geography, people, it's crazy. I mean, you go geography work anyone, yeah.
It confused me for the longest time to figure out why Cincinnati Airport was in Kentucky.
Yeah.
But I understand it now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's the perfect example. Exactly. Another home run. He just crushed another one.
Yep. So Kinley's dog is named Ghost, and they have a husky as well.
Kinley's dog named Ghost. Shout out. And a husky.
Yeah.
Nice.
I did try huskies out instead of reindeer.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Was the food too expensive?
No, it was a big crash and burn, because they're so hard-headed. They refuse to listen to me half the time. And that's really
great.
important. So when you park and they run, Santa can't go chasing them down, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But reindeer
See Santa running down the street chasing Coda.
Yeah.
All right.
That's right.
But reindeer,
reindeer are very disciplined. They're very smart. They're just as smart as huskies, right?
Yeah.
But they'll listen.
They're
not as hard-headed.
Do the reindeer work all year, or do they just have to wait for that last bit of December to really make an impression?
They spend the entire year practicing and working their way up. After our big night, they'll rest for a little while. They might go on vacation to a couple places. There's actually a couple over in Indiana, one of the vacation spots.
Okay.
They'll go over there. Sometimes they even come down during the season, and they'll go over there to train for a little bit.
Oh wow, that's where my wife's from.
So,
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Whitetail Acres, they like to go over there. Reindeer Ridge, sometimes they're like little vacation spots for the reindeer.
Oh,
It's
very
wonderful.
cool.
That is.
Right here, and so can people come here? Can they go to Reindeer Village and visit them?
Reindeer Ridge, yeah.
Reindeer
absolutely.
Ridge?
I'm trying to remember who came down this year. There were a couple down here this year
Okay.
that were at Reindeer Ridge.
That's awesome, man.
That is awesome.
It's really cool to see that people still go the extra mile too to make sure that the magic still happens and the magic is still there, because that's one thing. Like as you get older, you know, the bills start piling up, the everything just starts adding on, and then, you know, when it gets to the point where Christmas doesn't feel like Christmas because, you know, you feel like you've got to break your back to make other people smile. But, you know, the whole point of Christmas is just to smile at somebody at the grocery store, just to be nice to somebody when they're having a bad day, or even if you don't know if they're having a bad day, just being nice to somebody and just reaching out and saying thank you. Which, by the way, thank you to Taco Bell earlier. I told you guys I was going to shout out you guys.
Okay,
yeah. Amber was the GM over there. She took care of us. For some reason, the app wasn't working, and it charged me $108 for our food today. And she was like, "All right, I'm pretty sure all those will get refunded." And she's like, "I'll just give you the food for free." I don't know if I'm supposed to say that here, so sorry. But yeah, I appreciate it. And those are the things. Like I was,
there's little things. I mean, they're a huge corporation, and a little thing like that goes a really long way to. You know.
I got to be honest, though. I name dropped somebody.
Did you?
That kind of got the ball rolling. So I was there, and I went to go pick up our food. It wasn't ready. Something happened with the app, and it didn't go through. So I purchased it again. It didn't go through. Purchased it again. Didn't go through. Tried another credit card. Purchased it. Didn't go through. Looked at my account. All 4 of them went through. And so she was like, "Look, I'm really sorry. Thank you for being patient." I was like, "Look, I'm not trying to like steal food or anything. I'm just trying to feed our squad before we interview Santa Claus." And she was like, "You're interviewing Santa?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know, like he's on the podcast today, and we're just trying to get some food before we all get set up." She's like, "Okay, I never do this, but I'm gonna go ahead and we're just gonna make the food for you, and then hopefully all those will get refunded." And I was like, "If they all get refunded, I'll come back and I'll pay the meal. Like, I don't mind paying it." She was like, "Just do me a favor and fill out the survey. Give us if you put highly satisfied on it, then the girl at the register will get credit for it, and then she'll get entered into like a $500 gift card."
Oh, that's cool.
So those are things that you don't know too.
Yeah.
Like I told her, I was like, you know, people are really quick to complain. Right? Like if something's wrong on their cheeseburger, like you may have gone to McDonald's 30 times and gotten 29 good meals, but the one time you get the bad one, you want to complain about it, when you really should be letting them know, like, hey, out of 30 times, 29 of them have been incredible. You know, that's the problem with today is people are quick to complain, not quick to praise or give praise for somebody that's doing a good job. And that's something that I really feel like Christmas kind of brings back, man, is that like, you know, it's not about the money, it's not about the biggest gift, it's about giving, it's about the love and appreciation that you have for each other.
Oh, for sure. So moments like that you hear, like that the word Santa, the idea of that we're interview you, that brings so much joy to someone that is going through it at work. Obviously, she's going through it. Clearly having probably a rough night. That whole situation. She's probably
she hates the app.
Probably dealing with it right now at this moment. You know what I mean?
She's like I can't stand the app because we can't even cook your food. She's like, because they were just going to ring me up at the register so I can pay cash. Mm-hmm. She's like, but you ordered the online exclusives, which are like the combo packs that we get, and you can't order that there. She's like, it's not even in our system, and even if you order it from them and you get there and then they don't have the item, she's like, a lot of the stuff is like, it was, like a Christmas item that's gone now, but you can still order it on the app. Once you get to the store, she's like, I can't refund you your money. Like, I just got to tell you can't get it. And she's like, it's such a hassle because, the app will refund you within 2 weeks of that product not being in.
Man, what a stress.
So there's a big disconnect there. But the second that I said Santa's in the house, she was like, I'm going to go ahead and do something for you.
Yeah.
I never do. It's like, all right.
And from your end, what do you think about those kind of situations that like...
I really love it. One thing that's very important, right? When you're out and about and you spread joy, it's very contagious.
It is.
So just smile. You know, you get really frustrated or very upset, just smile.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised how far that'll go to get the problem fixed.
Absolutely.
You know, everybody makes mistakes. I make plenty of them, right?
We all have,
That's
for
okay.
sure.
That's all right. So when somebody makes a mistake that affects me, I just smile, say, how can we fix it? And we do the best we can.
Absolutely.
It's not always perfect, but if they're doing the best they can, that's very important.
100%. Yeah, and you never know what the other person's going through either. You know, like the way that I always look at it is, if a problem happened, the milk is already spilled on the ground.
Yeah.
Don't complain about the milk. Figure out how to clean it up. You
Right.
know what I mean?
The milk's not going to clean up itself, so you
Yeah.
might as well just get it done.
Yeah, we can
and then go
we
from
can
there,
sit
yeah.
here and stomp our feet and walk around and scream that the milk's on the floor, but there's only one solution, and that's figuring out how to clean it up.
Yeah, clean it up and then move on to the next. Yeah, that's kind of how like life really works in totality. Like you may have a problem, and if you can't sit in that problem forever because the world's going to keep moving. You're going to eventually have to go do something else. You're going to have to whether use the restroom or feed yourself or something. You're going to have to move away from that problem in some fashion. On a humanistic level, so because you have to move from it, you're going to have to accept it. You're going to have to allow this to take its place, and how you react is everything. Your reaction to what happens is literally everything. It's not what happens, it's how you react to it. And if let's say you have a short fuse, and you know that, maybe, and something happens, find your way to cope, find your way to handle it as quickly and as smoothly as possible, and then if it's something that involves someone else, like learn to forgive, learn to move on from it, and it'll make your life in a totality just way more stress-free. As Santa spoke on earlier, that he is not stressed, and that's Miss Claus' responsibility or her taking on, the responsibility there. But like some people take it on differently. Everyone handles things differently. So like, just remember that like if things are hard, it's hard for everybody. Everyone's dealing with something. So you just have to remember that like everyone's world is moving at the same time simultaneously, and no one knows what's happening in the person that's sitting next to you's life. So a little bit of kindness and just a smile and saying how they're doing, like asking someone how they're doing, it goes such a long way here at the store. I mean, I'll see people come into the store and they walk in like not looking too positive, but they're just wandering through, and they kind of maybe attracted because of our lights, or they may have come in here because of the podcast or whatever it may be. And I'll be like, hey, how's it going? And they're like, oh, I'm good. Thank you for asking. I'm like, you're welcome. I was gonna ask you either way, but you were looking like you were down anyway. So like when they say thank you for asking, I can always tell that like, hey, they may not always get those questions asked to them. So it is important to give that shine to someone, because you don't know if it's rainy or cloudy or sunny or super bright in their world. You just don't know at what point they're at. So, and I appreciate it when it's said to me, because just like that, I deal with it just like anybody else. There's the bad days, there's the good days where depression kicks in. Things are really, looking really dark when it's bright outside, and you're like, man, things are just not doing right. And someone says, hey, man, how you doing? I'm like, you know what? Thanks for checking in. Like, you don't even know what's going on in my world. Thank you. And that really like that momentum kind of carries. It carries in your life, because that positive, like that uplift, it's contagious. You know what I mean? Like just like yawning's contagious. It's much the same. It's an energy thing. People feel it. They will react, and then you don't know what comes from that. I think a lot more positive situations open so many doors for me rather than negative. If you kick and scream, more than likely a door is going to get shut on you. But if you go at it like, hey, like let's work together, let's be friends, let's be some kind of acquaintance, let's be something here. You never know where that might lead you. That might lead you to be maybe get an opportunity to become an elf, something like that. Get to train a reindeer or something.
Well, it's definitely a way to stay on the nice list.
Yeah.
Right.
So with the elves, speaking of which, so if they are let's say they want to go explore and do something different with their lives, has that ever happened where they go off on their own and they go explore the world, what it has to offer?
They want to go to New York to meet their dad?
Yes. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Only in movies.
Right. Yeah. But what happens, or like any experience you've had with that?
Sure. Sometimes they do want to come down, and they want to experience it down here. I don't have any problem with that. I actually encourage it sometimes. It's the life experiences that they experience down here. Sometimes they come back to the North Pole and bring it back to us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we don't always get to experience some of the stuff that happens down here.
Right.
So it's very important to understand the different cultures and the different people that are going on around the world. That's the only way to be sympathetic to what's going on to other people.
Yeah.
True. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, out of all the movies that have portrayed you, which one hits home for you and Mrs. Claus? Like, which is the one that you've got to watch as soon as it starts snowing, and then what's the one that you've got to watch on Christmas Eve when you're busy on Christmas Eve, but the day after Christmas, when everything is done and you can finally sit back and drink your hot chocolate, like what's the movie for you and Mrs. Claus?
Well, getting ready for the season, right? I love A Christmas Story.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Who can't relate to that?
Yeah.
The excitement of Christmas and the build up all the way up to the big night.
Oh yeah.
Right? And everything, a child's world, their whole year is based around Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Before and after.
Yeah.
And it makes a perfect description of what children go through.
Right.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe a little different now with all the electronics.
Well, it's
Right.
it's just get rid of the
Similar.
gun and put the iPhone
Okay.
in the situation.
Very
You
true.
know what I mean?
Very
Yep.
true. But
That's my me and my wife, we watched Christmas Story on Christmas Day. I know you're super busy then,
Right.
but that's our. It's usually on TV 24 hours that day, anyways. But that's definitely our Christmas Day movie is The Christmas Story.
it's a Miracle on 34th Street, and I don't really care which version
Yeah,
because they're all perfect.
yeah.
I really like that because it gives the whole thing right there.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. It's all wrapped right up.
Yeah.
The Miracle of Christmas.
Yeah, it gives the entire story. Sadly, this was the first year I've watched Miracle on 34th Street for the first time. Like,
Really?
I've seen clips, obviously, like throughout the days, but like it's one of my wife's favorite movies, and so we sat down and watched it. And like the whole premise is such a good, it's a good premise. It's a good life story. You know what I mean? On making money, giving money away, owing money, and then realizing that like family's the only thing that matters.
Right.
And that's really the Miracle on 34th Street, man.
Home Alone's kind of that way too.
Oh
If you
yeah.
really think about it, with all the shenanigans and all the slapstick that goes on in there,
Mm-hmm.
the story behind it is how important family is.
All right.
Right? Because first he's mad at family,
Yeah.
and he says some terrible things, wishes them away, and ironically, he's left alone, and then he wishes he had his family back.
Right.
So the whole thing is about how important family is in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. And it didn't matter about the presents or any of the stuff at the
Right.
end of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's another good movie.
There it is. I love it, man. We actually we went 2 years ago. Me and the wife went to the Home Alone house and got to take a couple pictures out there.
That's
and it was
cool.
perfect too because it was all there was snow on the ground and
Oh, that's perfect.
the whole nine. Yeah, for
That
sure.
is dope.
For sure. All right, so Miracle on 34th Street and The Christmas Story, both definite classics for sure. Are there any people that portray Santa Claus that you're like, Tim Allen does a really good version of me? You know what I mean? Or is there any that
Well, you actually said I really like the way Tim Allen portrays me.
Yeah.
He does a good job.
Oh yeah.
He tells a pretty authentic story.
He's one of those. I kind of feel like if I had to have a TV family, it would be Home Improvement.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like I want to be a part of that family.
Yeah.
Like obviously like being the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air would be super cool, but Uncle Phil wasn't that awesome. You know what I mean? I feel like I would have a better time with
Yeah.
Tim the Toolman Taylor, bro.
Man, what TV families? That's a good topic right there. What TV families would be like the best to live in? Because there's quite a few like
Oh, Family Matters would be a
Family
good family
Matters, yeah.
to live in.
All the Cosbys.
The Cosby.
The Cosbys.
The
That might be.
Cosbys.
There was too many kids in that house for me.
A lot of kids. In
Too many kids running around. Full House.
I was gonna say Full House.
Full House would be.
That's where I was
be
going
wild.
with it. Yeah, for sure.
Uncle Joey.
I mean, so many different types of personalities in that.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, that's interesting.
I'm here for Home Improvement, man. I'm like Tim the Toolman Taylor would be the coolest dad.
Yeah.
Who the mother is the one that runs the household.
Oh, absolutely.
The husband's the one that goes out and has all the fun, right?
Right.
Prime example right there.
There you go, man.
That's true. That's true.
All right, I'm starting to understand life after this podcast.
Yeah.
There we go.
So the husband has fun and the wife takes care of everything.
That's what it sounds like.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, if that's how the North Pole's running, then I mean that's pretty much the standard, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
I mean that's it. She's taking. I mean, she's holding the fort down. She's getting the credit, and she gets to hang out with all the elves, so she got all the company.
True, but
I mean,
she doesn't get all the attention that I get.
Yeah,
and that's what's unfortunate.
That is
Right,
unfortunate.
right.
That is unfortunate.
Although she will be down here on the 21st, doing some reading and doing some crafts with the kids.
Oh, okay. And that's December 21st at do you know what time?
From 6 to 8 p.m.
6 to 8 down here in Newport on the Levee. So what's the 21st? That's what, 2 days from now?
It should be a Thursday night.
So this Thursday.
That's right.
That's coming up.
So
yeah.
they can come
2
on
days from now,
down,
yeah.
and Mrs. Claus is going to be telling stories. And you know what I was thinking too? So Kinley and let's see. I think the kids that were commenting on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe we should give them a little secret code to tell Santa up here, and then you can give them the present, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Something where, Kinley can have her own little secret code where she says, all I want for Christmas is X. And then Santa will know that was Kinley from the podcast, and he can pull the present out and give it to her.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
So should we talk about one of those presents?
I think so, man. I think that'd be really cool.
that.
Yeah.
Because another one of the presents, well, let's see here. Let me dig into my bag here. Oh, I think, let's see. Kinley, she was 11, correct?
Kinley's 10.
10, that's right.
And Kinley loves she loves art supplies, and Kinley would love to know what kind of girls' clothes that she would like. I kind of feel like Justice used to be the move, like for 10-year-olds, but they're kind of closing up left and right? Like I think I saw Justice in Target or Walmart.
So they've went from stores to the actual major retailers. I mean,
Smart.
Yeah. Well, we took over a couple of the justices. So
that was our MO for a while.
There's two less of justices. Yeah. Yeah. But I guess Justice had to do something. But Santa does have something in his hand.
So one of the things that I'm asked for every year are LOL dolls.
Hey.
Every year. But the other thing is, it's not just LOL dolls that is specifically requested. It's the LOL surprises.
Okay.
They have little surprises in here for them to open up, because who doesn't like surprises,
That's
right?
Yeah.
It's so genius.
Yes.
So
it
genius.
is.
So this is one of the things of the little girl's age that gets asked for frequently. And this has actually been the past 3 years at least.
Okay.
This is brought up almost every single weekend.
And
many times.
And that just shows the strength of that toy too, man. Because at this day and age, every year there's a new toy that's trying to become the top, right? They're trying to become the newest, the best, and those LOL dolls have just been, like they've been here for the past 10 years. And I think one of the big reasons is, that surprise thing. When you open up the toy and you don't know what's inside it. It's kind of like it's like the skateboards that we've got coming out. Like it's a surprise. You don't know what you're gonna get, but you could get this. But you're gonna be happy regardless.
Yeah. I mean, when I've talked to people, they're excited about the white one, and the white one, like the white one's definitely a possibility that's a likelihood you're gonna get it. But I mean, the fact that the white looks as great as it does on that board, excited about those boards coming. So the surprises on, I see you got Disney in your hands.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is another one that's asked for frequently. These are mini brands.
Mini
Now,
brands.
I didn't fully understand this at first,
Okay, yeah.
but the whole idea behind this is the surprise that's inside. They have all kinds of neat little things. Actually, so I've even seen miniature Star Wars figures, and I've seen little Disney princesses, all kinds of different stuff. Mini brands come in a lot of different types. So if you know a child that collects the mini brands, you want to find out what series they are. You want to find out what exactly, because there's more than just the Disney. There's a lot of different mini brands out there.
Yeah.
So and children love to collect these things.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think the excitement's opening them up.
Always.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's the surprise behind it again.
Yeah.
It's like, who doesn't love surprises,
surprise.
right?
It's a Christmas present inside a Christmas
Yeah,
present.
because when you
That's
receive it, you're excited that you've got something, and then you get to be surprised again.
Again, that's right.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And these have like 6 different surprises inside of them. So it goes and goes and goes. So this is one of the things that gets asked for frequently.
That is so cool. So
And what he was saying though is like for parents. So when the parents go to Walmart or GameStop or wherever they go to get one of these things, like make sure that you're getting the right set, right? Because there's so many of them that this one's got the Disney characters on it, so there's going to be a complete set of 6 or 8 or 10, whatever, and then there'll be another one with Marvel, Pixar. I see all the
Exactly.
logos on the side.
Yes.
So you want to make sure that you're getting the right.
That's correct. And not only that, you have to make sure you're getting the right series.
Okay.
Okay, because
Okay,
these
series
have
are-
multiple series to them also.
That's
So is
that's
that-
the trick.
Is that 2? A series
This
2?
is series 2.
Okay.
There's a series 1. I believe there's a series 3. If it isn't out yet, it will be out soon. I'm pretty sure they rolled it out before Christmas. So each side, inside of one of these, you also get a little list of all the different toys that you can get inside one, and you kind of check them off. So it's a real collector thing.
Yeah.
That is
That's what that's all about.
That's super cool.
And the kids love to collect them. It's kind of like collecting baseball cards.
100%, man.
I like how I like how the framework is where they're positioned as collector's items from the start, rather than things you're just collecting on because you make it a collection eventually because you've collected all the different items. That's like collect them as you go. Like there's a checklist. There's like what you have, what you still need. But that would be so like hard. Like, do you buy them all from the same store, or do you check different Walmarts, Targets, different stores for it? Like,
You can order these through Amazon. You can get them through Walmart, Target. I've even seen them at Kroger's.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So all these places carry these things, which is really cool. So as long as you stay within the series, and you may get a lot of doubles, which then the kids can trade. So
Right.
when they're the modern day baseball cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
What it's all about.
That's
And
so
you can
cool.
get little shelves and things to put them on. So it's like you create this whole little mini world.
Yeah.
It's really
You know what I've been
Scenarios
doing.
like PlayStations.
Like me and the wife. So and ironically, this Funko right here, the troll doll, the big one, that was my very first Funko Pop that I bought, and it was like I held off for a long time, and once I bought one Funko, I understood the pandemonium behind it, because like once you buy one, it's like, okay, now I got to get the set, and then you start looking at these other, the rare ones that you wanna buy, but
that's where they get you. See,
yeah,
the
oh
mini
yeah,
brands will have gold ones in it.
oh yeah,
And those are the special ones, right?
for sure,
So when you get one of those, you found something that's not in every single set.
oh yeah.
So it's really exciting.
That is
right?
exciting.
I'm
yeah.
I'm having that moment with McDonald's right now. They've got the Kerwin Frost McNugget buddies.
Yeah, we have 'em
Yeah,
right
we've
here.
got a couple of them right here.
Oh, yeah.
But the same thing. So when it comes to McDonald's, typically your Happy Meal toy, you can go to the counter and say, hey, can I get 3 different toys, so that my kids don't have the same one. But with these, they all come in the same box, and you don't know what it is until you open it up. But there's a little code on the bottom of it, so it says TCB like 775 is the gold nugget. So there's a rare version that you can get at McDonald's. That's like the gold version nugget, which it's just same toy, just different color. But I brought some nuggets home for me and the wife, and she opened up. She got the brick, which is like the cold nugget version, the real cool one. Yeah,
that was cool.
And the second she opened it up, she's like, "I'm hooked. I get it."
Yeah.
And it's like I this is it. This was my entire childhood, is opening up baseball cards and looking for that Jordan or looking for that Bo Jackson or that King Griffey Jr. You know what I mean? Like
when we first got those ones, I mentioned back in the day they had the mummy.
Oh yeah,
the mummy with the top and bottom. That just stuck out. Like it was like a flashback because I haven't seen the mummy in a long time. Like I wasn't even thinking about the mummy chicken nugget from back in like I was little. I remember being. But when I opened that, it like had the same
nostalgia,
feeling. Yeah, I just literally like my brain went straight to that mummy. That's who knows where that little toy is at this point in time at my parents or somewhere. But like I just thought of that mummy, and I'm like, that is like I'm feeling the same feeling, even though I'm not like I don't have the attachment to these characters, but just the feeling that little chicken nugget and the material is like the same. That they've somehow maintained that material feeling. I picked them up and I was like, wow, that's so strange that nostalgia like comes back or whatever your brain does. It's humans are amazing. We're fascinating. So like I'm just feeling like, wow, I can see the mummy even though I'm not looking at that little mummy guy, but it's the same feeling of the warmness. And that was a Halloween one. This is I'm not sure what like period of time they're going to be doing this through. Is it through Christmas or
it's all Kerwin Frost is like the Frost Way is their town.
And then their packaging though, I don't ever remember the packaging being as good as it is. This packaging is amazing. Like the boxes were so like detailed and all the characters.
The burger wrap, so it had like
the burger wrap.
So once you open up the box of one of these little 3 characters right here. They're wrapped in basically like a Big Mac wrap.
Oh, cool.
So they're wrapped up like a cheeseburger from McDonald's, but it says like Kerwin Frost, who's a clothing designer who teamed up with McDonald's. But, not the most popular guy on the planet, but he brought that nostalgia factor back from the 80s that just hits a nerve with everybody. And that's the same thing. Like, they're cute figures. They're not as popular as Cactus Plant Flea Market when they drop their Cactus Buddy toys on the adult meals, but
those were
they were different.
These feel like
these are way more like better built.
I was gonna say the quality of the actual toy. Though nothing wrong with the Cactus Jack, they were just one whole piece of plastic. The plastic itself.
You drop that one and it'll bounce across the room like a
This
piece
is
of
3
metal.
pieces. These are 3 pieces: the hat, the body, and then like the legs.
Interchangeable,
yeah, and like it's like a matte color, but the feeling of it is very it like feels vintage. It's the strangest thing to say, but it feels vintage from the time I pulled it out, and that nostalgia like hit me. Like you can't fake nostalgia. You can't fake the feeling. It's just it is. You know what I mean, Santa? Like you just feel it and it just happens. You're like, that's weird. Like because you can't replace it. You can't create it from nothing. It has to happen organically. And that's
so.
McDonald's does it right.
We've got some news. I think
news? Okay.
I think Shavonna Haggerty and her daughter Allie are on the way to Levy right now to meet Santa.
All right.
So they're on the way down here to see you, and I think she wants to pick her gift up now instead of waiting for a little meet and greet with Santa.
Let's go.
I'm here for it.
We're here for
that's
it.
Awesome.
This is exactly what we're looking for. We have the Hi Santa, Hi Mom. We have the I'm on Native TV sign down here. So come down and check out what we got because we do these podcasts every single week. We interview some really awesome, fascinating humans, different people out there doing super cool stuff, whether they're entertainers, they're business owners, they have crazy different talents. And every week we're like, come down, check what we got going here. But it's a Tuesday, so it's people work, a lot of lives are busy. But this is an opportunity for them to catch this Santa and here. And we definitely encourage you guys to come down to the Levee, check out what's going on down here. We're busy. I mean, this is the holiday time. This is the time where shopping's happening, but everything down the Levee, all local businesses. You can check out whatever you want in trade. We're here at Native. We are currently Spices. there's quite a few places down here to check out with really cool stuff. The new Brickery, which is the first United States Lego cafe, so you can eat and play with Legos for free.
Dude, he's killing it.
Yeah, he is. You can play with Legos for free, or you can rent Legos. You can purchase them there. You can build the little Lego characters. You can build this whole body, like everything.
Rent the Lego thing might be genius, dude. Because like, when I was waiting in line, I got a Benny earlier, which is
it's good,
a phenomenal drink. It's like $4. By the way, before we get into that, Santa's over here drinking a Liquid Death. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah,
it's the best water on the planet.
Hold on.
Santa, how do you
That's
feel
right.
about that Liquid Death?
You know what? I really, really like this.
Yeah.
It's really refreshing. I'm really surprised. I wasn't expecting that. When I was handed this, I thought, Santa doesn't drink now. Not at all. They assured me it was water, and it is. And it's delicious water. I love it. This is great.
Yeah.
They got me hooked. We're going to have to get some up in the North Pole.
Yes.
Can
man.
we convince them to send some up?
I'm sure you can.
I think-
Oh, my goodness.
I'm sure you can. We can reach. We got a direct line to them. We can definitely reach out to Liquid Death and be like, hey, Santa's hip. Let's go. You know what I mean? So and it's solid water too. I mean, it tastes great. Like, even though it's coming out of a can, because you'd think there would be maybe like some kind of like metal taste, but there's not.
Nope.
It's just smooth.
It's cleaner than it is out of a
clean.
plastic bottle.
Yeah.
And it's colder too, man. Like, I really feel like that can make that water get super cold compared to like a plastic bottle could.
Yeah. And you know, a fun fact, when you read on an expiration label on water, the water doesn't expire. It is the plastic.
Santa told me that earlier.
Yep, it's the plastic that the water is contained in is what causes the expiration date. So Santa told that earlier. I've known that fact for quite some time, because when I found that out, it blew my mind. I was like, the expiration date isn't even about the water. The water can exist as is, but the plastic breaks away over time, over a long period of time, and then it can cause issues and contaminate the water. So, fun fact for anyone that's listening. So
Santa actually knows the like. Do you know the actual word that contaminates the plastic? Like I thought you said
what we
it.
talked about earlier
Yeah.
was the algae that can grow if it's sitting in sunlight.
Oh, there you
because
go.
It's a clear bottle.
Oh, okay, yeah,
this
yeah.
is not clear. This is not
That
clear.
isn't. It's not clear.
Therefore, the algae can't grow without the sunlight.
There you go.
Yeah.
Another plus for Liquid Death.
Another interesting for Liquid Death is we're talking about the armless Palmer is no longer going to be available because. You want to explain, Jay? You can tell the story.
Yeah, I'll fill you in,
Yeah,
Santa.
fill me in.
So Liquid Death, they have the water version, and then they have a tea version. They've got like regular tea. They've got like a half tea, half lemonade, which is an Arnold Palmer's is what they normally call lemonade and iced tea, but Liquid Death named it Armless Palmer because everything they do is like chainsaw mango, like they just have a play on words, but the Arnold Palmer estate is suing Liquid Death for using the name Armless Palmer as their half lemonade, half iced tea, so they changed the name to Dead Billionaire, and and now the Armless Palmers are going for like $200 a case because they had to take them off the market.
Yeah.
Well, I can't say that I agree with the naming. That's a little extreme, but that does sound really good. The iced tea and lemon
together, it's really good, man.
Yeah.
If you've never
Sounds
had half iced tea, half lemonade, it is incredible.
It is.
I wonder when they're going to come out with a hot chocolate one.
Right?
Oh.
You know what,
That's
man?
Santa version.
So
That's
last Christmas, Lindsay Lohan did a commercial for Santa Claus, and it was a Pepsi commercial where they were mixing Pepsi and milk together. Did you see that commercial?
No,
Apparently, it's delicious.
I would never.
It apparently is delicious. I wouldn't. I'm not saying I would never because it's like
I don't drink.
it's. I mean, it's like
but
it's.
yeah.
It's. I mean, to me, it's like putting creamer inside coffee. It's not as crazy as you would actually think.
Oh, it doesn't sound crazy. I mean,
You just don't do the carbonation.
yeah. But like, it just. But why would you?
It sounds gross.
Why would you even think of that? Like,
I have
if you're
no
looking, if
idea.
you're looking in your pantry and you're looking at the Pepsi, and you're not even looking at the milk at the same time because you open the fridge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, unless you put the Pepsi in the fridge, but like, really, like, where are you?
Who's trying to make Pilk though?
Who's Pilk?
It's Pepsi milk.
Pepsi.
It's I think they call it Pilk for real. Yeah.
Really?
Pepsi and milk.
Oh.
We're gonna have to try it on the podcast. We got to. It's so strange.
What color is it?
It's like coffee.
Coffee. Okay.
Yeah, looks like coffee.
That's interesting, man. You know, the other day I've been like
coffee with cream, obviously.
I've been putting like 3/4 milk and then like 1/4 chocolate milk to like preserve. I buy like a half gallon of chocolate milk and then a full gallon of milk, and I'll put in there, and it's so strange how the chocolate milk sits in the middle, but at the bottom
really?
it fills with the brown, and then the top it like makes different shapes. But the white surrounds it. It's really interesting.
Huh.
And I just do it. I do it in a clear glass, and like I pour it in there, and I've just been like, I did it one time because Charlie wanted to mix them,
and you were like, "No
way." It was
way.
Charlie's idea. It was Charlie's idea. She's like, I was like, can't have chocolate milk because it's too late. We can't drink chocolate milk. She's like, can I have a little bit chocolate milk and milk? I was like, what? All right.
Negotiations.
You asked for it. I'll make it. So I poured it in there, and I noticed what I was doing. I was like, that is so cool. It was like science in front of my face. I didn't even know what was happening. I was like, why is it? Because it went in, and then it like came out like a flower on the top. But the white was around still, so the chocolate was in the middle. I felt like a barista or something.
Yeah,
like Charlie drank it. She drank it right up. She likes milk, but yeah, she's 4, so she's exploring everything.
Experimenting everything.
Yeah, she's
Good age for
and
that.
she's so smart. She's really got things down. Like that baby is independent as she possibly can be at this 4-year-old. Like
You should have her try to make slime.
slime.
Have you ever made slime?
No.
Oh, she would like it. It's Elmer's glue, a little bit of borax mixed in water, right?
Okay.
Okay, but it's also important to take the Elmer's glue and you cut it with water to make it real liquidy, and it becomes a slime. Now, if you don't cut the Elmer's glue with water, it becomes a bouncy ball.
Oh.
So you can make a bouncy ball. It's all about polymers. Okay,
Oh.
so and how it all affects. It's really interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah, you should try it.
I will.
She
I
will.
will.
Santa,
A lot
I
of
think
fun.
got a Meyer out here.
Hey.
Yeah, very cool. That slime, bro, is is genius. Like one of the ironically, one of the toys that I got as a kid was the Ghostbusters house, right? Like the 3-story. I don't know, the firehouse that they had, and the very top of it, you could pour the slime down, and it had little grates, so you can on the 3rd floor you could pour the slime in, and it'll drip to the 3rd floor, and then it'll eventually drip to the 2nd floor, and then it'll drip to the 1st floor. So you can have like, what was Bill Murray's name? Peter Venkman. So you can have Peter Venkman like standing there, and all of a sudden, like the slime will like just slowly start falling all over him.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was the coolest stuff, man.
That is cool.
But like having to clean that up as a kid, like you're not gonna clean that real well.
Yeah.
And then next time you use it, there's only half the amount of slime left. Next time you use it, it's just like a little bit of slime falling down.
Less each time.
Yeah. So being able to make your own. So how would you do the colors?
Oh, so all you do is you add a little paint to it.
Oh, paint will
really
work.
Neat if you get the glow in the dark paint.
Oh yeah.
And you mix that in with it.
Okay.
Right? And then you have glow in the dark slime. But you can add glitter and things like that to make it a little more fun. Now you can get the clear glue and make it a clear slime, where they got different colored glues, and they have sparkly glue and all that fun stuff. And any of that stuff you can make slime out of.
Sparkly glue. She would love that.
Yeah.
She would love that. I'm not a big fan of glitter, but I got a little girl, so I've had to adapt to that. The glitter's like, I got glitter bombed one time at Pride Festival, and it scarred me. That glitter it was the first time I ever had been to Pride. It was like early on in the era for it, like at Cincinnati, and I got glitter bombed, and it was in my laundry for like, I found that glitter for like a year, 6 months to a year, forever. I found that glitter in everything, my pockets and pants that weren't even anywhere near the clothes that got glitter blonde, but that glitter just extended forever.
Trust me, I know.
Oh, I know.
North Pole,
Now, yeah,
it's like sand in Florida, right?
yeah,
like,
it's crazy. But I heard not that long ago. There's actually technically there's a glitter shortage. Whatever companies make glitter, I guess there's less and less that have made glitter. So there is technically like not enough. There's not as much glitter as there once was. I don't know how that would work, but like I guess there's a.
We don't have a shortage in the North Pole.
I'm
It's
sure you
all
don't.
over the place,
That's probably
right?
where it's all at. Honestly,
Maybe.
yeah. It's an interesting thing I heard. I was like, glitter shortage. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't really think there's a glitter shortage. It can go. I'm not a glitter fan, but someone thinks there is. But yeah, like there's definitely not a glitter shortage in the North Pole. And speaking of the North Pole, how long? This is gonna be a curveball. We're gonna change to the weather because it snowed. It snowed here. Woke up to snow yesterday, and so
Such a good feeling, dude.
yeah, finally,
Such a good feeling. Like
finally,
Kayla started tearing up when she saw the snow. And it's one of those things, man, where it's like it doesn't feel like Christmas yet until there's a big snow. Like it could just be me because like I grew up in Chicago, so snow comes early there, right? And it's like by the time Christmas time comes around, snow's a hassle. But like, you know, having as much snow that we got the other day, it was such a good feeling, man.
Yeah,
you know,
for
and
sure.
And
It is.
even though like the cold weather, like no one likes cold weather.
But if it's gonna be cold, at least have some snow.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Don't let it be cold and rain. Just let
Right.
it cold and snow.
Yeah.
So, funny story about the snow. Okay, do you remember last year at Christmas time, everything got shut down? We got
What, like because of the snow?
got hit here. That's right. The
Okay.
snow came in. So I was sitting on set over there visiting children, like
Okay.
I do.
Yep.
And a little girl came up to me and said, "Santa?" I said, "Yes." And she said, "The only thing I want for Christmas is I want to see a white Christmas. I've never seen a white Christmas." And I started thinking, I don't ever believe I remember a white Christmas being here in all our years.
Yeah.
True. So I said, you know what? I'll see what I can do for you. I'll see if I can sprinkle a little Christmas magic in the sky as I go over and see what we can do. I sprinkled a little too much Christmas magic, and it shut the whole city down.
That's awesome.
Oh.
I do remember that because we had, well, at least when we were outside, I remember we had to shovel little pathways
We
to
did
the
have to.
store. And I had the native sign out there just tucked over in the snow. I still remember that photo because it was such a cool looking.
Yeah. Yeah, we did a big snow last year too because we were talking about we weren't sure we were going to be opening.
Oh yeah.
Because if you remember, that was because we weren't sure we were going to open because the levee was going to be shut down.
Yep.
Yeah, and when the levee shut down, it's hard to. We'd like to open and promote because we're willing to be here, rain or shine. We're here late, we're here early, we're here more than anybody. I
Well,
think.
I'm
Quite
sorry when I say Santa makes mistakes. I do. So,
Hey.
That's
now,
true.
it was
Another home run.
last weekend. A little girl asked me, said, "Can you bring snow? I have not seen any snow this year." I said, "I don't know. I created
what I
quite a
can do."
problem last time, so
Yeah.
I sprinkled a little less in the air."
Hey, it was perfect.
got
It
a
Santa.
was
little bit-
perfect.
It was
That's why.
perfect. It was early in the day. By the time like 5 o'clock came around, there were like none of the roads were backed up
No.
or any of that.
And I got a good nice photo. My porch was covered. My porch looks so nice when it's covered.
Yeah.
Until the dogs go out there and just take all the snow out. It's gone in hard. That husky, he like moves and it's because he loves the snow.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he loves it, as you know.
They love the snow.
Loves the snow.
Absolutely. I can't get them inside.
Yeah,
They'll stay out there the whole time.
they will. He will. I'm like, and the thing is like people see the dogs out there, and I'm just like on my porch, I'm like, they don't want to come in. Like, if I'm not that they're judging me, not even they, my neighbors, they don't really care either way. But like, if they were to see the dogs out there, like, he doesn't want to come in. Even if you think that my dog's out in the cold, you try getting him in. You come over here, try to get this dog inside, because like unless he's gonna he's gonna eat, I'll like open the door and he'll look at me and like, I'm like, come in. And Penny, she's ready to walk in, do her thing. She'll go wherever I tell her to go. But he's like, bro, I'm not done. Like, you can bring me in here yet. Nope. I got squirrels to chase because he loves the squirrels. He chases squirrels like they are his. I mean, they're best friends or they're scared of him or something, because he will go after him and he will not stop until he catches a squirrel in the tree, and he's not climbing up that tree. But like he will stay out there, and I'm like, dude, just come inside. It's freezing. I don't want to stand here any longer. And he'll go like do his nose thing and like he's like a deer. And he gives me the attitude. I'm like, all right, dude. You go out there and freeze. He's not freezing. He doesn't. I don't know what he's feeling.
Like I said, they're hard headed.
They are.
They will not listen.
Dude, he will not listen. He will listen if I raise my voice, or if I get like really intentional with it, and he can tell I'm like, now, like this is the time. He'll stop what he's doing. He'll sit and he'll come. But if you don't give him like any authoritative tonage, diction in your voice, he's like, no. What are you? You're not my boss. I'm really running the show here.
Could you imagine if you made it so he could fly?
Right.
Where would you be?
Right. Well, if he could
now
fly,
you understand.
My privacy fence would be no good.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's like,
that
my
is
goodness,
funny.
they'd be gone. Right?
Gone,
That's
just
right.
like that. And he's gone as is. If he gets past that fence, he is so quick. Like
And
I said,
now you know why I have reindeer.
now you have reindeer.
That's right.
Yeah. So when you made the switch from deciding on a husky to a reindeer,
Didn't take me long.
it didn't take you long.
No, not at all.
No. How did you figure it out that they were interchangeable with that?
Well, when you give flight to the first couple huskies and they don't really come back,
You
it's like, ooh.
You gotta reevaluate. Yeah.
Maybe that's where Coda came from, bro. He's trying to get back to the
Maybe.
to get back to the stars over there.
He was the runt when we first got him. He was called the runt. Now he's 65 pounds of athletic dog that can just do his thing. And he's a good dog. I think with him is like he just hasn't really grown out of the puppy mentality. Really, he lives that way. And
It's Santa. It's the real Santa.
But yeah, the levee's still busy here. We got people coming down from the movies. We're still going. They're still because usually on Tuesday evenings, it's just kind of hit or miss how the levee's going. You know, especially with the weather change.
There's always the flow. You always
Yeah.
get the people that come in at 7, then you see them leave at 9:30. It's like it's definitely the movie theater vibe for sure.
movie theater. Yeah,
It's wonderful down here. I love the levee. I
Dude.
really do.
yeah. Tell us
Some
about
of
your
the-
experience.
Some of the best cookies, and there's so many places that have great hot chocolate.
Oh yeah,
Right?
and it's all local too, man. That's the one thing that like I keep preaching to everybody. It's like you can come down here and you can get local food, local pastries, local coffee. You can get local beer, local clothes. You know, you can get it all done right here at the levee. You know, and the restaurants that are here too. It's not like you're coming down for just a burger and fries. Like that Sammy sandwich that they got at 16 Lots is one of the best sandwiches I've ever had in my entire life.
Ooh, I haven't
The-
tried that yet. I'll have to try
They've
that.
got a Cuban over at Amador. If you like Cubans,
Right.
they do it right. Like a lot of the places that make Cubans, they don't have the right bread or they don't press it correctly. Like there's always something off about it. Like I lived in Tampa for a couple of years, and you know the Cubans out there are just they live and die by Cuban cigars and their sandwiches. So I got accustomed to having like really good Cubans, and that's definitely the best one I've had in Cincinnati by far. It's great, man. It's really
I haven't had the pleasure. Now I have had the Tom and Chi.
Tom and cheese always
Really good
always
stuff.
good.
Yeah.
Don't know how I feel about the donut. The glazed donut, grilled cheese. I like my things sweet,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I like the cheese.
I haven't tried it. No, like 'cause I'm in the same boat as you. If I'm gonna go over there, I'm gonna get the sandwich or I'm gonna get a donut. I'm not gonna get a donut sandwich.
Yeah.
But there's got to be a reason they made it, man. You know,
Yeah.
like there's mad scientists in every kitchen trying to cook up something,
Yeah,
trying to
there's
make their own pilk.
You know what I kind of wish they had down here is graters.
Oh yeah,
Why do they not have a graters here?
yeah.
They went the Cold Stone route.
Well, yeah, it's true. A very good point.
They went the Cold Stone route.
Very.
Yo, Tyrell, you got a question? Let's talk, bro. Where we at with it? Where we at, Jizz?
What I want to know is, I know the big topic would be like, what's the most asked as far as like press I know that's obviously like a common thing. I'm sure a lot of places are going to ask you that. My question is, what would you say is your most common misconception that you've learned about the spirit of Christmas time and the holidays and stuff? Like you see the fake Santas out and they're doing their thing and stuff like that, and you see kind of the change up a bit. What would you say that you've learned in your experience, I guess?
That's a very good question. I would have to say that going to what you would say a fake Santa, which isn't true. Okay.
They're all hired by the real
They
Santa, right?
Don't get the child's request doesn't get to me, but that is absolutely wrong. It does. Absolutely. They're there to help me. I wish I could be everywhere in the world. I chose Newport because this is a beautiful, beautiful place. But there are a lot of beautiful places I would love to be, and these people help me. So one of the biggest misconceptions is when they go and tug on that beard and it's not real, that what they tell Santa doesn't get back to me, and it does. That's right. It gets back to me. I hear everything, and they report it back to me, and I get those messages back, and I know what the children want.
They're like your own personal secret agents.
They are.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
Like
sometimes they're my elves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I send my elves down. Sometimes they're people that have just been on the nice list for so long. I ask them to be my ambassadors.
Okay.
okay,
Which is
like
important.
I got to get
So,
on that
like,
list.
You're working on it.
I'm-
Keep on that beard. It's
I got to
coming out.
get there,
It's
man. I'm
spectacular.
here.
And you have been on the nice list lately.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with it, man.
I'll grow mine out, and maybe I'll bleach my beard and then see if I can get to that
I
point.
think
man.
I think it's drool, man. I think my drool is changing my beard.
I think if I put some bleach in here, I think there would be a chance that I could get it. I don't know, but I don't have. Mine's
a
not
little
as
bit of age.
a little bit of
Keep
age.
it up.
You know.
You can get there. You're on the nice list too.
Hey, appreciate you. Thank you. That with that question, the unexpected thing. So you mentioned that like they're like reporting this information back to you and whatever, like, and all that, all the stuff that comes with that. So what about the kids that question you in that moment? How do you respond to them and like in a, like as honest as you can, or how, like, because I'm sure there's questions. Parents have so many things to say. Kids at school might not be as friendly about it. You know, there's so many different dynamics. So what do you say when someone questions things and, you know, curiosity?
Well, see, I have the ability to prove to them that I'm real. Right? Go ahead, tug on my beard. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Some of my helpers, okay, but now I want you to understand that when you see one of my helpers, you're actually seeing me. Okay? So when you go to them and you think, no,
Something's not
what's
off
going-
here.
yeah, that is me. Okay? I've had that question about the Scuba Santa. Very, very helpful to me.
Okay. Yeah.
He's one of my absolute best ambassadors.
Yeah, you don't want to get in that water.
No, that's right. Who wants to get in the water with sharks?
Right.
But he's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And he's so important to get all the information. He sees so many children,
Oh yeah.
and he gets it all back to me.
That's
and he's
awesome.
You're actually seeing me. That is the spirit of Christmas. You have to understand spirit in order to understand that I'm actually seeing that.
Right.
Yeah. That's that. I'm just curious about that because, you know, people are going to watch this, and you're always going to have people that are naysayers and saying things and whatever, and you never know what's going to happen in the comment section. So I like to be prepared for the responses that we may get, you know, because we like to interview, we like to get the proper information. We're here to do our due diligence. And has there ever been a moment where you had some kid that was just going off the chain, off the rails so much that you had to, like, look, kid, let me give you the truth here, man. This is how it works. Like, I am the Santa. Like, you can question all day long. Like, I'm sure there's ones that are giving you such a hard time that, you know, because they, you know, they're people. At the end of the day, they're smaller. So
I had 2 young boys.
You call them by their name, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Whoa,
whoa, how's he know?
So
Yeah.
I had 2 young boys here about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Okay, and they thought it was fun to hackle Santa. I called him over and I sat down and had a talk with him, right? And they came over and said, well, I want all this stuff. I want $1 billion. I want to be an NBA player. I want all this stuff. And they threw all this stuff at me, and I told them flat out, no.
Yeah.
No. And I told them I'm going to give them the best gift that I could possibly give you. And they said, well, what could possibly be the best gift than $1 million? I said, I'm going to humble you.
Humility, yeah.
That's right. I said, you are going to work very hard in your life, and you will never get everything that you want. It's very important to understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the best gift I could give them was a no,
Yeah.
No.
because they needed it. Now, a lot of children work very hard, and they get that special gift. They don't get every gift, but they will get a special gift. And that's what I told them. I will bring you a special gift, but I'm not going to bring you every gift. And that's something very important to remember.
Yeah.
Some gifts come from parents. Some gifts come from Santa. And Santa tries very hard to bring special gifts, especially if you're a good boy or girl.
Yeah. Some gifts come from knowledge too, man.
That's right.
You know, saying something like that to a kid that's maybe 10 or 12 years old that, you know, is out of the realm of Santa's real, and you know they're trying to be the cool guy, you know, at the moment. but you know the reality is like, you know, you can't. Expectations don't just happen, right? Like, you know, there's a lot of hard work, there's a lot of dedication. You know, there's a lot of hard work and dedication that you got to be in the position that you're in, right? And you know, my dad always called it the brass ring. He always told me that I was trying to go after a brass ring, which was like at the time he would consider it the MTV phase. Everybody wanted to be on MTV and without the hard work. You know, which is it's 100% true. And like, you know, when my dad would tell me these things, and I would just respond with, I don't even want a brass ring. He's like, you're not understanding the point, dude. It's not about a brass ring. It's about you're going after this fictional thing that you're shooting for, and you know, once you get it, what are you going to do with it? Right? And it's a brass ring, you know, and it really put a lot of perspective into like just my mindset on, like, you know, yeah, like you're on your phone, you see all these other kids that are doing TikToks and they're making all their money and they've got their own channels, and you're like, why can't I do that? You know, and it's one of those things where it's, you know, it's not built for everybody, and B, like, just be you, and that's how that person got into that position in the first place. That kid likes toys, so that kid started reviewing toys, and now Ryan's making millions of dollars reviewing toys off of something that he would do without the camera in front of him.
Right.
You know, you got to find what you want to do, love what you do, and then put the camera in front. Don't put the camera in front and then figure out what you want to do. Find your love, double down on it, and then record it. You know, and that's a better outlook than for somebody just to say, I want to be an NBA player. Yeah, dude, everybody wants to be LeBron. Everybody wants to be Steph Curry. Like, don't get me wrong, but like, you think Steph Curry's got an automatic three-pointer because he wanted it? You know, like, he's there 7 days a week shooting that three to make sure that it's automatic.
He's shot more three-pointers than anyone that's ever walked the earth.
Ever lived.
Ever lived. He's made the most that's ever lived, and he's definitely shot the most that's ever lived, because I mean, it's literally muscle memory that he's gotten down to science. But he is getting older, so that three-pointer is going to come in major handy.
No, let me tell you something. I just saw a video the other day of
LeBron's getting older.
Stephen A. Smith on ESPN.
Yeah.
So some guy was in there, like, he was a basketball coach, where he was coaching these kids on fundamentals and all this stuff. Stephen A. Smith was still wearing the suit, and he was like, all right, let's play horse. Like, first 1 to 3 on the three-point line. Kid shot it. Terrible form, first of all. Like, for you to be teaching other kids basketball techniques, like, miss the first shot. Stephen A. Smith, he's like, I might have to take the jacket off. And then he's like, Nope, it's the shirt that's causing it. Boom. Threw it up, made it. 3-pointer. No deal. Like,
Nice.
No problem. And then the trainer shot it. Terrible miss. Stephen A. Smith. Boom. Number 2. Made it. It's like it's muscle memory, dude. It doesn't matter how
Stephen
old
A.
you
Smith
get.
has some history in sports, man.
But he's also in a suit. He's in a
Yeah, that's true.
I guarantee you that button down shirt that he's wearing is custom fit. It's not baggy. Like it does this, bro. When you go to shoot, it's gonna hold your arm like a foul.
Yeah.
3 in a row. Boom, boom, boom.
Made all 3.
All 3.
Game
and then
over.
the other guy missed all 3. But it was just like
Got it on the spot too.
on the spot.
On the spot.
On the spot, in the studio too. It wasn't like it was out in the street. It was like that little basketball studio they got at ESPN.
Oh, okay.
Drained all 3 of them
Man,
right off the rip.
Good on him.
But that's muscle memory, like you
Muscle
said,
memory,
man.
yep.
Like once
That's all it is, yep.
once you get to that point, once you shot
Got it.
so many threes, you're just it's training. It's
It's memory. It's literally memory.
There's a reason why they get paid millions of dollars, and there's a reason why there's only 3% of society that makes it to the NBA.
Less than that. It's
Yeah.
It's less than 1%. It's crazy.
Okay.
But it's not something Santa can grant. though.
You can, right. We talked about earlier. It's
That's hard work. That's the only way it's going to get you to that one.
to make it to the NBA, to make it anything professional athletically. You can't wish that. You have to not only have to have obviously gifted with the natural ability to do the athletic things, but the practice and how many hours you have to spend just shooting unpaid baskets. And then you have to learn how to deal with defenses, and then you have to learn plays, and you have to just the memory aspect on top of the muscle memory. Like so much goes into athletics, and like they get paid a lot of money because they're entertaining, and people need entertainment in their lives because there's so many things that go on to stress people out. It's a de-stressor. There's so many dynamic to it, but like
They figure out a way to make money on that. They figure out a way to sell tickets, to sell jerseys, right? So that's how they're making all that cash.
yeah, the money's brought back. Yeah, the teams. Baseball. We just watched Ohtani get $700 million over 10 years, though he's only going to get $20 million for the first.
Them Asians are different, bro. He's
Yeah.
like I can live on $2 million a year happily, and then get the big payout when I retire. Like, because that's when I'm gonna have fun, is when I retire. Anyways, like
Yeah.
I'm playing 163 games, 183 games a year. Like I'm not gonna have time to spend that money.
Yeah, he's going to almost retire a billionaire.
Crazy.
He's gonna. After all the endorsements.
But not only that, he's setting his team up to win, bro. By doing that, he's setting his team up to win because he's not taking the big brunt. He's like, it's not the Joe Burrow situation where Joe Burrow took the big brunt of the money, and now Joe Mixon's getting paid less this year than he was last year.
It's true.
You know what I mean? Like
but Joe Burrow deserved that money, and it's also a different sport because we were talking about this earlier off camera. Santa, are you into sports? Do you have any
I do
teams?
follow a little bit.
Okay.
I do like the Bengals.
Do you?
Yeah,
Okay.
they brought the heart up in the North Pole this
Oh.
past couple years.
Hey,
Yeah.
all right.
That's right.
Yeah.
The nation's team, right?
The nation's team. Yeah. A lot of people are jumping on the Bengals. They're like now they're a top 10 most popular franchise. So it's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but the thing about baseball compared to football and basketball, there's no cap in baseball. So the teams can legitimately purchase a championship almost. They can buy as many expensive players, and there's no saying you can't spend this much money. Where in football and basketball, there's a cap, so then you can't buy all the best players. If someone is owed money, then they've checked all the boxes to be able to get that next big contract. Sometimes you just can't afford them. It's just a part of the game, and they move on to a new team. It's not because they don't want to be on the team anymore. It's just because they've checked all the boxes, and they're deserving of a pay raise. Unless they want to take less money, which they have the option to do. So most of the time, they don't, because that's money going towards their future generations. That's going towards their family. So they do take the money, and they do move on. And a lot of fans don't understand that. They're like, oh, they're turning the back on the franchise. No, well, they've got families and things going on outside of what you want.
So when it comes to Joe Mixon taking a pay cut and then having the year that he's having right now,
I don't think he's going to get much more money even with his year.
Really?
Yeah, because, well, it's kind of complicated, but running backs are at like a 60%. Like the pay difference is crazy. The running backs aren't getting. Saquon Barkley didn't get any money. Christian McCaffrey got money, but most of the running backs aren't getting money because running backs are. It's kind of a youth
secondary.
Yeah, it's kind of a youthful thing. You get them right out of the draft, and you get 2 to 3 good years. And the average NFL career is 2.6.
Yeah, you
years.
don't have any Emmitt Smiths anymore.
Yeah, so you won't have any more of those ever again.
Yeah.
Those days are over. Unfortunately, we're not going to see any of those guys. You're going to see the level of athlete. I'm sure those level of athletes come through, but they don't get to last as long.
Right.
You don't ever get to see like McKinnon is his last name. You probably don't even know who he is. McKinnon. He is like pound for pound one of the most athletic guys in the NFL, and you don't even know who he is. He's not even popular. He's not even a big name player, but athletic wise, he is. He's not developed as much, but athletically he's great. And there's injuries there and whatever, but like athletically he's top tier, but he didn't get the opportunity.
Yeah.
So like it's a very complicated system, and running backs, and he's running back. So they just don't get the money because they're not a quarterback, or a wide receiver is now premium. So like T. Higgins.
Yeah.
T. Higgins is a premium, man. We watched.
I mean that's if you're gonna get 60 yards out of one pass or 3.5 yards out of a running back, like I get it.
But the goal is 4 yards per play. If you get 4 yards per play, you can never lose football.
Yeah.
You can't lose football.
Yeah.
If you 4, that's first down. 4. So if you get a running back that's averaging 4 yards or plus, they deserve money. Even though they're not getting the big passes of 60 yards,
100%.
4 yards per carry, you should get the contract. But the ownership group is not wanting to pay the running backs because they're not a premium.
It's entertainment, bro. There's a big difference between T. Higgins catching a 30-yard pass.
Yeah,
then
a running back
a running back running
and getting lost in the mix.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden they jump up and you don't even know who ran the ball except for the announcer says his name.
It's all entertainment. At this point.
It is entertainment,
but
that's just an interesting dynamic.
So let's get back to Christmas time because it's getting a little late, and I do like the 80s and 90s, the Christmas time, like when growing up. There's always that one Christmas in our head that was like the biggest Christmas, like the best gift. You know what I mean? Like the one thing that you didn't think you were going to get out of the Toys R Us catalog, but it showed up Christmas morning. Like what's the one gift that just sticks out in your mind that you had that you'll never forget that moment?
When I don't know, there's going way back. Probably when I first got,
and it doesn't have to be the most expensive gift.
Sure.
It just has to be the one that you were like,
just really unexpected.
You were the kid on America's Funniest Home Videos where you're just screaming like, yes,
right.
And then the cat attacks you because you're freaking out.
Right. Man, things that stick out.
You want me to come back?
Tyrell. I think when I have yet some. It was like probably a football jersey. I got a Marshall Faulk jersey when I was younger, and I got the Allen Iverson jersey. When I was younger, I was so into those certain things. I got now I don't wear jerseys and I don't even have those anymore. But like, and then recently, my mother got me a St. Louis Rams blanket, and like that was a really
still
big,
talk about that.
That was a really big moment. And those things are just nostalgic from when I was little. But
the jerseys for sure, man. Like me growing up in Chicago, like getting the Michael Jordan jersey, like pulling it out. I still remember pulling the black jersey with the red pinstripes, because in the 90s, like there was no teams doing pinstripes other than the Yankees, and then when the Charlotte Hornets came in,
White Sox have some stripes. They had some black
in the 90s.
I don't know about the 90s.
No. They might have. But when it came to basketball, there was no stripes until the Charlotte Hornets came out. When the Hornets came out, they had the purple and teal.
Yeah, they had fire
striped jerseys.
Yeah, they had.
And then the Orlando Magic became a team, and that's when they dropped the black jerseys with the white pinstripes, which was like I was obsessed with.
Yeah, I had an Orlando
then-
Magic hat. I love that thing.
Yeah, but then the Bulls finally came out the black jersey with the red pinstripes, which has been a long time coming, and I still remember pulling that jersey out and just like, it's here,
Yeah.
like it's mine. It's fine. Oh, I can't wait to put it on and feel it and wear it and play basketball out. Because I used to wear them like on the court like I was Jordan.
Oh yeah, of course.
Didn't make any sense.
That's right.
Yeah, but
We're all Jordan in our minds.
I think like my number one gift was definitely the original NES, the original Nintendo, and that was probably like, what was it, like 85, 86 when it came out, something like that. So like I was young. I was only like 5, but I still remember getting it. I still remember the feeling of like, it's here. Like the pictures that I saw inside the Toys R Us magazine, like, and it's now it's here.
Yeah.
It's like it's here.
Right.
Like, you start getting all the tingling things like, it's mine.
Right. The moment's here.
Yeah, dude. But it was like,
the moment is upon my precious.
yeah, dude.
Right.
And like just popping in that it would like I had the one with the track and field and the duck hunt. So you're sitting here, you're running on the trackpad, and like right away I was like trying to hack the game. Like so you either got like the Nintendo with the Super Mario, or you got the Nintendo with the Super Mario track and field and duck hunt all together, and it came with the gun and it came with the trackpad. And I got the trackpad, and I learned right away that you got to run as fast as you can, and then you got to jump, and then the character will be in the air for as long as your feet laying on the thing.
Okay.
So right away I would just jump off the pad, and I would just wait for as long as I can, like see how long the little character would be in the air, and then I would jump back real quick to make sure that the character didn't fall. Strategy, bro. Yeah.
So,
but that was by far like,
it's funny.
I was too young to remember it, but it was still one of those moments where it's like, that's Christmas time. And then I remember getting my dog Bushman too, which was like hiding inside. No, I'm sorry, it was actually not Bushman. It was Winston. But
Okay.
yeah, but he was like inside the box, and the box was like bouncing around, and my parents were like, probably go ahead and open that one before long, because it's running out of air.
Right. Did Santa? So have you ever gotten a gift that has gotten you riled up, hyped up? Is it like, how does it work for you? How do you feel about Christmas gifts? Like anything under your tree ever from Mrs. Claus, or
Well, Mrs. Claus and I, we kind of keep that stuff private.
Okay. Yeah.
But I do recall a few gifts that I remember dazzling children with. I remember the Star Wars area.
Oh,
back
man.
in 1977, 78.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing those toys to them.
Yeah.
The Atari. That was a big
The
year.
Atari 7800,
Atari,
man.
Right, 2600.
My mom sold that in a garage sale for $25, and I'm like, I was going to look for my system to go play it, and it's not there, and I'm like, where is it? She's like, neighbor's house. I'm like, what are you talking about? She sold the whole thing, all the video games, everything, $25.
Oh yeah.
For not even a full tank of gas now.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
painful.
That was a big year. I remember that very clearly.
So,
wow.
like big gifts that
GameCube.
like
GameCube
one
came
of the crazy things I remember was Tickle Me Elmo.
Oh yeah.
When Tickle Me Elmo came out, like people were fighting over this thing in the in the Walmarts or wherever they were to get them. Toys R Us at the time, probably. Do you remember Tickle Me Elmo?
Yeah. I was a little old for with that, but we've mentioned on previous podcasts about not that it's Tickle Me Elmo, but the wrestlers.
Oh, dude.
The soft wrestlers that were like, I don't know how big they were, but they were probably maybe 3 feet tall, if that.
No, they were. I think they're probably like 18 inches tall.
Mine was pretty big. I had the Hulk Hogan, the Hollywood Hogan. I don't know how he was pretty big. He was like a.
You were pretty small. I bet you it was only 18 inches tall.
Look it up. Let's find out how big he was.
Wrestling Buddies, right?
Yeah, I don't know what he was called, but he was cool and I liked him. and I thought he was a cool gift. Now that you mentioned the
17 inches tall.
7, that's all. How? Well, that's under 2 feet.
Which ones you have, Hulk?
The Hulk Hogan, the Hollywood Hogan one.
Oh, you had Hollywood Hogan.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's way newer than the ones that I'm talking about. Like these are the ones that I'm talking about. So you had him when he was in the AEW, right?
It doesn't. I mean, it looks kind of like him, but he looks bigger than that.
So these are the wrestling buddies from 1990, right?
Yeah, mine looks way newer than that.
I kept Yaman's charger.
Shout out to Yaman though.
Yeah.
Shout out to Yaman.
Yeah, you know, Sandy, you remember those, right?
Oh yeah.
The
I
old
remember
wrestling
clearly,
buddies, man. Me and my cousin Sammy had all of them, bro.
Very popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember the wrestling buddy when he was on the Hollywood crew though.
Yeah,
because
he
that
was-
was when he had like the black beard, right, or something.
He had a bandana on his head, and then he had the Hollywood. He had
Maybe
the,
it was bigger then.
He was big. He was pretty decent size. I remember got him in a Sting. I like
all right,
Sting.
yeah, so it's definitely AEW.
I don't remember who in my life had this thing, but I remember wrestling with a Hulk Hogan like stuff thing. I don't know if it was the wrestling buddy or not. I didn't get a name, but I remember fighting with that thing at probably 8 or 9 years old. Yeah, it could have been that, something like that. I don't know, but it just the idea of looking at that, like, that looks like something that I saw as a child.
Yeah, it was cool. I liked them.
These things are so simple to make too, bro. We can probably get some mad scientist ones done or some native ones.
gosh.
We just need some elves.
That would be
done. Right?
If
that
we
would
had
be a
elves-
dope
So
idea.
you want me to send some elves down to you, huh?
You know what? We have a lab. They might find a place here.
Good. I've had my elves over here.
We can put them to work for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can start making some stuff for us.
Do they know how to work a DTG machine, a direct to garment? Can they print some clothes? I mean,
Probably.
Probably. If they can do it,
I
yeah,
could probably build the machine.
they can probably be right.
Right.
Be our maintenance guys.
You know
yeah.
what's funny?
That
We were
was a good point.
talking about these stuffed wrestlers, and one of the most requested toys that I get are stuffed animals,
Oh,
but
okay.
not just stuffed animals. Let me show you another one.
Oh, there's more here. Let's go.
Lots more.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Andrew knows this
Oh,
one.
man.
Hey.
So, but
That's cool.
this is not a squishmallow. Okay. There are very versions out there. This is more of a boy's.
That's way
Version.
cooler than a squishmallow.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is. I mean, who doesn't like, Boba
Mandalorian,
Fett, right?
yeah.
Boba Fett is too cool. Now, I did bring an actual squishmallow.
Hey,
Oh,
nice.
shit.
So they have not got far from what you guys were talking about with the wrestlers. Am I holding up that?
You know what? Like, no, I
Well,
thought
we
that
could,
was
you know,
that was
like
her
a
legs
little
too.
legs,
I was
Yeah.
looking at it like that, like it looked cool.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is the #1 requested toy from boys and girls of almost all the ages.
Really.
That's right.
Really?
All the way from the very young to the teenagers.
I gotta be honest, man. The dye process on that is really cool because it's got, when you're stitching that together, when that fabric, they didn't just have that fabric turn from dark purple to light pink. They dyed that fabric beforehand, obviously, to get it to that color where it's going from that deep purple and just fading into that light pink at the top.
I kind of wonder if this wasn't made this color purple and then dipped.
Yeah, that's what I was
Bleached
saying.
it out
Yep,
and then brought it up.
probably the other way. So they dipped it in, and then so the soaking of the purple stays at the bottom. But yeah, I think that's exactly how they did it.
Maybe. I'd have to ask the elves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's
that's
a
like,
process.
and those things too, man. It's you've got something that's super cute, and you can lay on it and fall asleep with it.
Yeah, that's the
that's the trick to those things.
And these are requested by every child.
Okay.
So whenever you get a child that says, "Well, I don't know what you want," this is what they want.
It's a good go-to for sure.
Absolutely. And they're not terribly expensive.
And so people can find those at like Target, Walmart. I think I've seen them at Sam's or Costco too, actually.
Just about everywhere carries them.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
And anybody that's trying to make money, right?
That's right.
Anyone that's
and you
trying
can get
to
them in various shapes, sizes.
Mandalorians, yeah.
Yep.
So is this?
This is not a Squishmallow.
It's a completely different company altogether,
That's right.
but they're using the Star Wars franchise.
That's correct.
Genius.
Yep, absolutely.
They just won up the biggest company in the world by
they
just
did.
licensing it.
Guess let me go over one last thing that's requested that comes up a lot, and those are the magic cards.
Oh wow!
Perfect stocking stuffers.
Oh yeah.
These actually were given to me by Mavericks up in Westchester.
Shout out to Mavericks.
That's
Yeah.
right. They great place to get Magic. They have all sorts of stuff. This game is played. Oh no, I'm sorry, not Magic. Pokemon.
Pokemon, yeah.
Pokemon.
Magic's just as popular. They're both popular. They're right.
I just told.
Mavericks has a lot of Magic stuff, but they also have Pokemon. Pokemon's what's requested. Requested
Big
most
time.
by a lot of boys.
Yeah, big
So
time.
These are the boys from probably 8 to about 13.
Yeah.
That's what I get a lot of requests from.
That's very cool.
But these
Yeah.
are great stocking stuffers and inexpensive too.
Where's Mavericks at?
In Westchester, let's see if I see a address. I don't. It's on Reading Road.
Okay.
1065 Reading Road, Mason, Ohio.
There you go.
Very cool.
Great place for these kind of cards, and a great place for Magic.
Man, so like breaking open cards is a big thing right now too, where because so many card companies are coming out with the limited drops, just like we were talking about earlier, how you can potentially get like the gold nugget. They've got was it Bowman? I was just showing you the other day. Bowman is coming out with a Tom Brady rookie baseball card
But
for
it's
the
satire.
Montreal Expos.
It's
He got drafted to the Expos, but never played, right?
to my knowledge, I don't know Eddie got drafted at all, but I think they're doing like a satire thing. Like it's like a wish list thing.
I don't. Right. Well, that's what the commercial made it look like. Was like, what if?
Yeah.
But I mean, they wouldn't have Tom Brady as a rookie on the Montreal Expos if he
I don't know.
didn't play for the team.
But he didn't play any baseball. He went from Michigan to the Patriots, and then the defense carried him for the first 3 years, and then he got good.
Nope, you're wrong. 1995, the Montreal Expos drafted the left-handed hitting catcher out of Sarah High School in San Mateo, California. His name was Tom Brady. 1995, they drafted him. He was a catcher.
He got drafted, and he got picked up by. So this was pre.
1995. So when did
He go to Michigan? What year? What was his freshman year at Michigan? Getting drafted to the because I mean there have been quarterbacks.
1996 was his freshman year at Michigan. So he got drafted to the Expos right out of high school.
They can yeah. I mean that's possible.
Or at least put him on the farm league, right? Like
because like Kyler Murray got drafted by him by in MLB. Russell Wilson, like certain players that go to play quarterback do. I wouldn't imagine Tom Brady that good of a baseball player. I mean, I guess he's good at. He was much different in his later career than he.
That would have been crazy to see him as a catcher instead of a quarterback.
Yeah,
Totally
even,
different life.
I can't even imagine it. It's obviously it happened, but like I can't even imagine him being in baseball because he never had like the best arm. He wasn't like the most athletic.
Catcher, bro.
Catcher. Oh yeah, I guess that's true. He doesn't have the best arm. You just have to be able to catch the ball. But he's a quarterback, so he throws the ball. He wasn't even catching it. But he's done a lot. Tom Brady's done a lot, man. Either
way, there's sports cards that are coming up with reasons to unbreak packs now, right?
Yeah.
Like and to do it live, where you might be able to get the chance to get a Michael Jordan piece of his jersey, right? So even though Michael Jordan hasn't played in the NBA in probably close to 20 to 15 years, you know, you can buy a card today in a 2023 pack and get the actual NBA logo off of Jordan's jersey, or get a little piece of his number like etched into the baseball card. And they're like,
Yeah.
I mean, you saw we were getting what were some. We just bought a pack of basketball cards, and I got like some old school players in there. Like,
Yeah, you got a lot of good stuff in there, dude. You got a lot of good stuff in there.
But that's the trick though, right? Is like, you know, you put a player in like Dominique Wilkins that hasn't played in 20 years, and you get a Dominique Wilkins card, and you're like, oh shit, it's Dominique Wilkins, you know. But the kids today don't know who he is. But so they're bringing that nostalgia back for us too, which is. It's smart on so many parts, so many levels.
They're taking old school players that are niche players that like you're just a fan of, but like the young people are really like, if it's not Steph Curry, LeBron James, you know, Luka Doncic, you know, those guys, they don't even know any of the previous ones because they have no reason to. It's not like it's advertised, but you know that like that group from like 80, like when you're like watching sports from like late 80s to like the early 2000s, there's so many players there that like is the reason basketball is the way it is now.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like Jordan, I mean Tracy McGrady,
Clyde Drexler, like
Shaq, even like Kobe in those years then too. Like there's so many guys that really stand above, like on like not only just like a basketball level, but like a human level, man. Like Shaq is amazing. If you know anything about Shaq, dude, Shaq does crazy stuff. Like he's given back to his community so much. I'm not sure if you've ever had a chance to work with Shaq, but he's a giver, man. He goes out and does his thing. Like he's definitely pretty impressive. I've watched some of his stuff online, and he has a TV show. But like
he's one of the most amazing human beings out there, for sure.
It's insane. He's
smart as can be. Like listens to the people around him. Listens to strangers that come into his life, like that lady that told him your shoes are too expensive back when he had the Reebok deal, and so he wanted to drop the price of the shoes. Reebok didn't want to do it, so he started selling his shoes at Walmart under his own brand for $40 instead of being the next Michael Jordan, right? Because Shaq was incredible, dude. He was an anomaly.
Yeah,
like when he came into the league, there was no one's ever been into the league that like him.
No one's been like him since.
But so like, he heard that one lady say, "Hey, your shoes are too expensive for my son," and instead of him going, "Well, sorry, he can't afford it," like he listened to her and literally said, I can't do this Reebok deal. I'm gonna go this way," and then 10 years later, 20 years later, buys Reebok.
Yeah,
bought the whole company. Let's go.
He bought Papa John's, Epson. He's doing like, you know who?
He owns Five Guys, bro. He owns like 60% of all the Five Guys in the world, something like that.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But Charles Barkley has a story too about that. He was talking about not Shaq, but he said Michael Jordan gave him the best advice. They said,
"Oh yeah,
yeah." He said, "Don't take the money that Nike gonna give you. Take the deal and take way less. Take like $1 million, but get all the royalties and just you're gonna get it in the long run." And Charles Barkley to this day he's thanked him on multiple occasions on live TV. Like, "Hey, thanks, Michael. Like I would not be where I'm at without your advice."
Yeah.
So like,
and that advice came straight from Jordan's mom.
Jordan's mom. Have you got a chance to watch Air? Have you seen Air? Often you don't get to watch movies that often because you're busy, but like Air's a good one. It tells a sort of Michael Jordan how he got his mom was like basically his representative, and she got him the deal to like get a percent. Like
everybody wanted Converse back then.
Converse,
everybody wanted to wear Converse. Magic Johnson had the Converse deal, and he was actually wearing Converse. No, he was wearing New Balance in the first photo shoot that he did. Jordan did. He was wearing New Balance in that the iconic shot, like, and they had to redo it with the Jordan shoes on. But it's that movie's incredible. If you and Mrs. Claus have an extra day where you're just flipping through and you're like, I don't know what to watch, like, it's interesting because the whole backstory of Nike and how they were the the outliers where they were just outcasts in a shoe game, and Phil Knight just thought outside the box and just kept doubling down on like the players instead of the shoes themselves. It's a really good story.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'll definitely have to.
It is. It's interesting too, and it's got red involved too. So part of it is when you had to have the solid color like white and black.
Yeah.
Shoes.
So in the NBA, you had to have your shoes had to be more than 50% white. They couldn't be another color. And so when Jordan came out with the red and black shoes, he wore them on the court, and the NBA fined them $5,000 per game that he wore the shoes because they wanted to keep like a stigma, right? And Nike was like, you have to watch the movie because they were penny pinching the whole time, and the one guy that was like penny pinching at every moment was like, we're getting fined $5,000 every time he wears the shoes. And he looks around and he's like, keep wearing them. Just keep wearing them. We'll pay the fine. Don't let Jordan worry about it. We'll pay the fine. Because if the shoes look so good, and if there's one person out there that's wearing a different pair of shoes than the other 9 people out on the court, it's going to stand out for sure.
Yeah. So they had $5,000 fine, and they paid it for Jordan because he had the different shoes, and they basically changed the entire like landscape of the NBA because now everyone can get personalized shoes. You could be something more, more creative.
You can wear the neon Grinches if you want.
Yep.
Nice.
You can. He changed the entire game. So like those impacts like are pretty substantial, and like we talked earlier about like what the youngins are wanting in these days, and shoes are a premium. You know what I mean? Like how often are shoes the topic of conversation with you talking to
every time we talk about clothes, shoes are almost brought up every time. Hoodies, shoes, hats, and shirts.
Hoodies, shoes, hats, and shirts. And what are the age range for that usually?
Those are typically 13 and above.
13 and above. So that's the time. 13.
And that's when the sports jerseys and the sports memorabilia and that stuff kind of kicks in too.
Oh yeah.
How often, this is going to be a little bit of a pivot, but how often is it asked for musical instruments? How often do you get musical instruments asked about?
So I have been asked a few times for that this year. It wasn't the most popular, but guitars. In specific, electric guitars.
Electric guitars, okay.
I don't know if there's a movie out that's inspired this.
Fair.
I've been asked a few times about electric guitars.
Yeah, I got a bass when I was 13, and that I'm big into the music thing, and that really set me off to like everything that transpired to lead me to this point right here. But yeah, when I got my bass guitar, electric bass, like I had just a little custom amp, tiny little setup, but it went such a far way with me. I got obsessed. I started watching every Red Hot Chili Peppers thing I could and learning every Red Hot Chili Peppers song I could, and then discovered metal, and it was off to the races from there for me. But yeah, once I got my instrument, I was sports. I love basketball. Basketball is my number one thing. I just didn't grow to become a basketball player to that level, but I love basketball. But once I got that bass guitar and I was like so into music, it was all I cared about. It was it. It was just like, this is it. This is what I want. And then, I eventually did the vocalist thing and just kind of made my way through music. But yeah, it just, once I got that, it wasn't even something I really asked for. It was like I wanted it because I'd seen it. I'd seen at 13, we're talking about little. Yeah, you're just like figuring it out. You're learning stuff. You're in middle school or whatever. But I saw my buddy had one of my classes he came from California, and he brought his bass to school, and he's playing slap, and we're like 13. He's just like killing the game, and I'm like, that is so. I want that, and I just mentioned it, and my parents were like, "What? You want?" None of us play music. I don't know what you get. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I want a guitar. Or a bass guitar. That's his name is Justin. I was like, that's what Justin was playing, bass guitar, and I think that is super cool. And he was like making like slap sounds, and he's from California, so like that was kind of he grew up playing since he was like about 5 or 6. He got his first instrument, so he'd been for like 8 years at that point. He'd been doing it a long time, and he was really good. And he definitely outshined any other young musicians in the area because where he came from. And I got hooked. It got me in there, and yeah. So I didn't really ever ask. I never got a chance to ask Santa ask you for a guitar, but I can imagine if someone sees like an older brother or like some kind of family member or someone at their school have a guitar, because it's so cool. Like there's so many different types of guitars and they're so pretty, and you can learn, you get to interact, you get to do something with it. It's something you can actually make your own, but the fashion thing, people like shoes.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Okay.
So I've had a really odd request, and it's happened multiple times. And usually requests come from something that's inspired media or movies or songs.
For sure.
Or something. I've had more girls between the ages of 10 and 12 ask for bows and arrows.
Bow
and arrow.
Hunger Games, maybe? Or is that a couple years?
That's
bow and
this
arrow.
year, not last year. And This is actually the first year I've had this. So could arrows? Is there a new Marvel movie out?
That's
Not
confused
that I
by
know of. Like
that.
the first thing I thought of was like Katniss, right? Like girls wanting to be Katniss from Hunger Games.
They've been playing Lord of the Rings on TV a lot lately, and actually, I recently got a Funko in I got Legolas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I just actually got that. I sent that to Tyrell actually today, but so that's kind of funny you mentioned that. But if you go to King Arthur's Court, King Arthur's Toys, towards Hyde Park, they have downstairs. They have like bow and arrow, like the tips are like a ball. It's like soft, and they have a bow and arrow section in the back downstairs in the play area. Charlie loves to go there because there's like climbing area and there's like a zip line thing. There's a bow and arrow section, so not that they're getting the idea from that, but like they do have a whole bow and arrow section. It's not the actual pointy tip.
Tyrell
but,
knows. He knows. Look,
I
he knows.
What's the bow and arrows about?
The first thing that came to my mind, because you said this year, I'm pretty sure Haley Steinfeld does some character where she has a bow and arrow. It's no reference to Hunger Games whatsoever. So maybe that inspired. Like she has her fan base is pretty up and down. So maybe that's a thing. It's on Disney Plus.
Maybe.
So I don't know. It's a newer thing. Whenever they started Disney Plus, it was shortly after the hype of it. So I would say that might be my guess.
That sounds like the wheelhouse, like Disney Channel being that 10 to 13.
Yeah.
So
Why
just,
would
just
I
a
like
thought.
that. That's
I don't
possible.
know.
But that's really cool, man.
confused by it.
That girls are wanting to get bow and arrows. It's something like that. Like I've really wanted to get into shooting bows and arrows. Like now that I only have one eye, because it's like, I can't play basketball anymore. You know what I mean? Unless I got that muscle memory. But other than that, like
You're pretty good with how you handle most situations, I feel, based on my observation.
a lot of trial and error, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
but
at the house trying to throw away trash from a distance all the time.
You're practicing at home, so when you're out in the real world,
Yeah,
no one
not
knows,
make it look easy,
No one
yeah.
knows anything. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I've always just been curious, because like we did the one Halloween, not this year, but the year before,
Where we all wore eye patches.
Yeah. It was a struggle.
Yeah,
I struggled.
So on Halloween, I made the staff wear eye patches one day just so they can feel my pain, because it's, not having depth perception, you don't realize the little things that are the issue. Like the biggest thing for me is stairs. If the stair doesn't have like a some sort of color on the tip of it, it all blends in. And like a lot of the times, like when I first lost my eye, I would hyperextend my leg because I would think I'm at the last step, and so I would straighten my leg out completely and then hit that step and whoa, lose my balance. But so that, and then using like a touch screen is crazy hard.
Yeah,
And then
I can imagine.
And then pulling into the gas station with my gas tank being on the right side of my car is super tough. Like I'll hop out and
To know where you're parked, you're probably way out.
Well, yeah, I think I'm like right next to the gas pump, and I'll get out and I'll literally be like closer to the closer to the other gas pump on the left side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where the person can't even pull their car in. So it's like, all right, I gotta fix this.
Right.
A lot of trial and error.
A lot of trial and error. Yeah.
So that day was fun, and I keep trying to get Kaylin to wear an eye patch for a day just so she can feel my pain, because there's things that I do around the house. Like I smack myself in the face kind of often. Like if I'm going to my eyes always dripping. So I'll go to wipe my eye, but I'll hit myself in the face first. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "No depth perception." Like, you don't understand until you're in the situation. Like,
yeah,
it's not as easy as you think.
Right. I will say I don't pay attention. I'm not watching you hit your face. So you're if there's any embarrassment, I don't notice it. Are there any things that you've noticed that in your years that you've had to adjust, like getting in and out of the sleigh, for example, or taking? Do you ever go for rides with the reindeer? Find how difficult they can be. Like anything that you've had just to adapt over the years and in your travels and anything.
So I can't really think of anything off the top of my head, but what I find amazing and very interesting about your story is it shows how we should have compassion for each other, because you do not know what they're going through until you walk a mile in their shoes.
Absolutely.
Now, there is one part to that. Sometimes your partner may not be walking in your shoes, but they may be the shoes next to yours, so they may understand some of the pain.
For sure.
Not all the pain.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think Joe Rogan says it really well. He says that, like, the worst thing you've ever experienced is the worst thing you've ever experienced. So, when it comes to people's moods and the way that they handle things, like, if somebody lost their dog, that might be the hardest thing that they've ever had to deal with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to understand and appreciate the moment that they're in and be compassionate, because that might be the hardest thing they've ever gone through. They may have never had their car repoed. They may have never had their house, taken away from them because they can't make payments. But whatever they're in, that might be the worst moment that they've ever been in, whether it's, a car accident, losing, running out of gas. Like, you never know what, you just have to treat everybody with that same respect that you want, and it's like, if like we talked about 3 hours ago, if a smile at the grocery store will go a lot further than people ever realize, because like we just want that human connection. That's it. When it comes down to it, we want somebody that, at the end of the day, we can go home and kick off the Santa boots and take off the Santa belt and just say today was a good day, and be able to tell Mrs. Claus what happened today, and for her to respond and have that conversation. There's that missed art where everyone's trying to go after the dollar. Everyone's trying to become. They're all going after the brass ring.
Yeah.
But the whole point of Christmas is to remember that the loved ones around you, and appreciate what you have, not what you don't have.
Yeah.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said.
Yeah. And I appreciate that coming from Santa Claus, because I feel like I got to do my due diligence of clocking in and making sure that I'm saying the right things over here, so I don't get put on the naughty list.
Yeah, I mean, the list though is the list. How does the list? How do you? How often to name switch lists?
So really, the naughty list does not start to develop till right around this time. Most people stay on the nice list till they are not on the nice list.
Okay, yeah.
And I don't really move anybody off of it till about this time, because I like to give everybody an extra chance. So yeah, we all do make mistakes, but there is time to make up for those mistakes.
Yeah.
So that's what's important.
So you do your audits late in the year.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. But it's important to make up for what your mistakes are.
Yeah.
So if you've been naughty, you try to be extra nice, and don't continue to be naughty.
What if they don't know they're naughty though? What if they
If
don't?
they don't know they're naughty, then they're completely naughty.
True, but not everybody sees everything the same.
Right.
So sometimes what people see as naughty, other people may not.
Yeah.
I consider that. I take that in consideration.
Sure.
So that's important too.
That's an interesting dynamic. There's a lot of depth to that one.
It is. The list is very, very, very complex.
Yeah.
It's actually very difficult for me to really explain how it works.
Is it harder to get on the good list, or is it harder to get on the naughty list? It's probably really easy to get on the naughty list. It's probably harder to get back on the
To
nice
go from
list.
the naughty list to the nice list. Yeah. How's that?
So I start out with everybody on the nice list.
Okay.
Okay? And as you continue on throughout the year, okay, these type things will build up, build up, build up. And if you don't try to correct them, that's when you start leaning towards the naughty list. But you're
That's the big
still
difference.
On the naughty list, you're still on the nice list till around this time when I say, okay, you really didn't try.
You didn't correct it.
Yeah.
You don't want to, and therefore you have made the naughty list.
Right.
I don't like to put anybody on the naughty list.
For
right?
sure.
I like to accept people for who they are and what they can do, and as long as they try really hard, I can accept that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
Effort.
great.
Yeah, that is, it's like it shows you that if you there's redemption, there's room for redemption, and I think that's important.
Like Santa said, man, like even he makes mistakes, right? So the biggest part of making a mistake is owning up to it and then fixing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The milk's already spilled. Figure out
Yeah.
how to clean it up.
Yeah.
And don't complain about it, because there's two types of people in the world, man. There's the people that drop the milk and then walk away, and then there's the people that drop the milk and clean it up.
Yeah, there's people here that walk and knock a shirt on the ground and just walk right out. And they know they knocked their shirt on the ground. And then I go over and pick it up. And there's people that knock it up and look up to see if I saw them knock it up, and they put it back. And then there's people that knock it up and don't think twice about it and then put it back up. So, like, there's just different people's navigation. I've seen it in the store. I've seen someone hit a grown person hit a shirt off, look at it, and walk right out the door. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you just did that. And I think if I was thinking about the naughty list, that's probably where I would have at that moment, because they look at the shirt and they see that it's on the ground and it's just right. It's literally just to pick it up and put it back up, but they will look at it and walk right out the door. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm gonna walk
But see,
over.
that's the complications of the naughty list and the nice list. That same person may walk right out into the mall and see somebody that needs a hug and give them a hug.
It's true.
So where
I'm
does
not
that
the-
fall?
Yeah.
Santa's
Wow.
a very forgiving man.
What a complicated situation.
It is. It's very
You
complicated.
you just complicated it very quickly there. Like,
did.
right? It's like they knock the shirt off, and who knows if they have a lower back issue, so they can't pick it up. For example, you never know.
Maybe.
And then they go out and give that hug because they don't have to bend over for it. Yeah, I see where you.
It's hard to judge.
Yeah.
Sometimes it has to happen. But being forgiving is very important,
Yeah.
especially during the Christmas season.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the most important thing. I feel like, man, because there's, especially at this day and age, there's so many people that are going 15 miles an hour and they can't stop. And when they do, it's like you're so in your head and you're so overwhelmed that you don't have a time to stop and thank people around you and give the flowers to family members and people that are really keeping you grounded, because and especially at this day and age, man, where like prices are outrageous, everything's going crazy, and it feels like 7 days in a week just isn't enough, right? Like,
No,
it's
not.
Mondays coming like this, and you're like, holy cow, it's Christmas time already. Like I didn't have time to prepare,
Yeah.
but just being able to appreciate the time that you have and the people that are around you,
Yeah.
You know, that's the biggest thing about Christmas, man, is just like, you know, especially when you get to your 40s, like, you know, your teenagers, like the 8 to 16, it's all about you. Like Christmas time is like me. I can't wait to see what I get.
Right.
You know, and then 18 to like 25 is like, I can't wait to buy the one gift that my girlfriend's going to like. You know, and then the 30s, it's like you get to the point where, oh, Christmas is here. Like, I didn't even know. And then you get to your 40s, and all of a sudden you're like, I don't want anything. I just want to be able to see the expression on everybody else's face. Like, there's phases that we go through, and we don't realize that we're going through them. You know, it's not like I woke up and decided that I'm going to be old today.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm at that point where, like, gifts to me don't matter as much as giving the gifts. You know, which obviously if Kaylin, like, sneakers are my go-to. So if I get a pair of sneakers for Christmas time, I'm back to being 10 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But other than that, like,
it hits
like,
a chord.
Yeah, but other than that, like, I feel like I'm at that point where I used to see my dad sit there and watch everybody else open stuff, you know, and then, you know, your dad would get 2 or 3 gifts, right? Because it was like the one that you got from school, the one that, you know, that mom bought, and then the one that your sister bought.
Yeah,
but he's just sitting there just having the best Christmas ever because of our reactions.
Yeah,
and it's a cool point to get to that moment where it's not about me, it's about the feeling that my family has.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean?
I mean, I'm there. I'm 35, and I'm anxiously awaiting the reaction from Charlie.
Oh, for sure.
I'm like this year. I'll have Christmas morning, and we'll just get to like just go through the whole process. And I mean, I'm just excited. I do Elf on the Shelf with her, so you know it's a big thing. And Poppy is his name, and Poppy just pops up like he's got an affinity for Baby Yoda, you know, Grogu if more specific, but he ended up on, I have him all over my house because she loves Baby Yoda, so like I have him everywhere, and it's us to bridge the gap, so I don't have to have princesses everywhere. I got something that we can both, my bathroom's decorated in him, so very familiar with there. But like he ended up on Poppy was on Baby Yoda's head. Now I have a Baby Yoda speaker that we take with him, like, and she loves him because she's like, oh my gosh, why is he here? Why is he doing that? Like, I put him in the, like, on a dartboard, like behind the dartboard. I put him on, like, he's gone everywhere. He's literally popped everywhere, and every time I have to film it because I can't miss those opportunities.
Right.
Because, and like when Christmas morning comes, it's gonna be that, you know, that whole moment just
times 10
times
for
10,
sure.
because she's the stuff that
The anticipation.
Yeah,
getting there.
she knows it's coming.
How much do you love that Elf on a Shelf thing? Because it's definitely like, it's such a simple toy, but the imagination that comes on all levels, right? Because Andrew's got to figure out a new situation every single night for this elf, right? So now he's thinking outside the box, and he's using his imagination, and he's thinking, what if this elf is real? What would this elf be doing?
I literally have,
You know what I mean? And
do.
then when
thinking about
when
it for
Charlie
tomorrow.
wakes up,
Actually,
she
yeah.
sees that the elf has done something different or is somewhere else, and it's like it just brings that magic back. Like, there's something about December that is so magical, you know, because of Christmas, that like I wish that magic was just here all year.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's very interesting, because what you just brought up there is very, very interesting. You don't know if that elf is a real elf or not.
Right.
But I use
It
those
speaks
elves.
to you.
Those elves are very, very important to report back to me of what's going on.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Okay.
sometimes parents will put an elf out there to make the kids believe that. But majority of the time, those are the elves from my North Pole to report back to me to let me know what's actually happening in those homes.
Okay.
'Cause the world has gotten so big, it's very difficult for me to track everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the elf on the shelf's helping me out.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
She says that. Charlie says she's like, he's reporting back. and like she knows she's with it. She knows the purpose. She knows what that elf on the shelf's doing.
That's right.
The elf speaks to me. The elf literally tells me, this is what needs to happen. Like, we're working together. We're
right.
Me and the elf are kind of on a team on this thing, because I understand the goal. We both have the same goal. We both have the same goal.
right.
We both have the same goal in this situation. So, but the reaction from my little one is so incredibly worth it. I have just as much fun. I enjoy the whole process.
So I did know, and I love when you talk about the transitions in one's life and how you go from different stages all the way up. And do you realize that you are in the stage that I am gifting you the most important thing of all?
Really?
And that is being Santa.
Okay.
That's why Santa does not bring all the toys. Parents get the privilege of doing some.
Awesome, man.
And that is the joy of being Santa. So when you hit that age where you are now sitting back and watching them open all the gifts and knowing that some of those gifts were from you, that was your privilege to be Santa. And there's no joy in the world better than that.
It's a good feeling, man. You know, being able to provide, or being able to provide a smile for a kid that wasn't expecting it.
Now you know what I feel.
Yeah.
That is the joy that I bring, and that is the joy I receive.
That's awesome,
That's
man.
exactly what it is. It's the magic of Christmas.
It is so real. I'm so excited for I think it's down here. Yeah, I'm so excited just because the reaction is going to be my camera's going to be filming the whole time. It's so much, it's so fun. Just even, I mean, we talked about the surprise gifts, like LOL, those reactions. She's gotten a surprise one before, one of the balls, and she just opening it up is like every step of the way is just the best thing ever, and she loves to say, "This is the best day ever." She says that a lot. You've heard her say that, I'm
That's
sure.
awesome.
She says, "This is the best day ever," and it's just a small toy. It's not even anything. You're not getting the most gigantic thing, but these little balls that we showed, exactly, bring so much amazingness.
Why don't you guys open this one?
Okay.
You know what?
right.
I think that that one girl might be coming down
We
for
can
one.
give her the LOL doll.
Okay.
It has surprises in it. Everybody loves a surprise opening.
All right, man. So is this gonna go to Charlie? Is that what's happening?
I don't know.
Absolutely. Would
All
you like
right.
to give Charlie that one?
Sure. Let's
You got to find the zip strip.
find the zip strip.
Yeah,
Let's see.
let me film it for you, bro.
Yeah. Here we are. I think it's here. I don't know.
All right, everybody. Charlie, if you're watching, that's a gift straight from Santa Claus.
Yes. Straight from Santa right there, bug. All right, let's get it. Let's see here. Let's found the zip strip.
There it is.
There it is.
And this is this was the Disney one, right?
Yes,
That's
it's
correct.
Disney. Yeah. Hello. So. Yeah. All right. It comes off so nicely. So how does it go from here?
Another zip strip.
Another zip strip? Oh, okay. I see. Interesting. They layered this up. All right. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Here we are. Got it. Now. Oh. Oh, pops open.
Just peel it apart like an orange.
Like an orange, yeah.
Yes.
Interesting.
Oh wow.
Wow, look at that.
That's super cool.
That is, opposite. Oh, and it comes off in sections. Wow. All right, Santis.
You can pull it off if you want. That little rubber thing, you can pull it apart.
Oh,
There you
okay.
go.
Wow. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Here we are. The first piece out of it. Oh, look at that. That's cool. And that camera. A little like water dragon or some sort. Something interesting. All right. On to the next piece of the orange, if you will. Oh, we got some instructions and Zurg from Toy Story. That's cool. Wow, I see. There's some nostalgia right there. Wow, that's cool.
Holy cow, that is so small. That's wild, dude.
What? Right? And all the instructions. Oh, I see. Oh, wow. Okay, they crush it. Oh man, wow. So I see. I
can't believe how small this box is, dude. That's crazy.
Oh, it's insane. It really is. It's really neat how they can make something so small.
Yeah, I know. And but the detail.
That's right.
The detail is.
The detail is amazing. I don't know that all of them have the same detail. I know Disney has a tendency; they have a standard to uphold.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
So
They do have.
They
Yeah,
do tend to have
they
nice
do.
details. To
They
them.
set the bar themselves. They did it to
do.
themselves. They
They
did.
do.
They hired themselves. Oh, little hawk.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool as all
Yeah.
get out, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, I think someone's experiencing what I like to give.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
It's
awesome.
the surprise.
That's awesome. That is super cool. That is wow.
So, like little mini figures like
Two-warps.
that too. We were talking earlier about those Funkos, and like one of the things that I love is buying the Funkos for like the Christmas versions, like all the Stormtroopers. What is that?
A lightsaber.
Oh wow, dude!
That is sick.
Is that?
Wow.
wild.
That's what I'm talking about. It's
Wow.
amazing, isn't it?
That is amazing.
But the Funkos, right? Like they're only 2.5 inches tall. So, using those guys as displays at the house. So, like instead of going to Home Goods and buying, the Christmas gnomes or whatever they are, like me and the wife will go and just buy, a bunch of like the Stormtrooper Christmas versions.
Right.
And then we'll put them on the shelf and make it, as soon as Christmas is
wild.
here, then they'll all be out there, and then. When Easter's around, we'll put out the Chandler Bing wearing the Easter outfit.
Can't even see it. I don't exactly know. It says on the back what their name is. Looks like
That's a
Ant Mothman or some kind of
that
Marvel
is-
character.
I can't believe how small that is, bro.
It's insane.
This is the first time that I can't read. I've never been at this point where the letters were too small. I can't read that.
How does Disney get like that tiny, the smallest?
That's
printer?
wild, dude. Like look at the size of my thumb compared to this entire box.
They certainly know what they're doing.
That's wild.
They certainly know
You
what
know
they're
what I'm
doing.
talking about,
Yeah, I
right?
know what you're talking about, dear. That is.
I could see it, man. So like, and this was called LOL.
This was mini brands.
This was
Okay.
The LOLs have something similar, where it's the LOL surprises have the little surprises, which is does similar stuff
Okay.
in their form.
I was gonna say like the LOL. I didn't think that was any of those were LOL dolls.
No, those
LOL's its
those
own
were mini
franchise,
brands.
right?
Yes.
okay. Yes,
Yes. So those were mini brands,
mini brands.
and now mini
Which-
brands has many different series
Yeah.
and many different types.
Don't they like do like you can get like mini like ice creams and mini like Oreo characters and like they have different like food products too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
yes,
I've
yes.
seen some of that. That's super cool too. But those details great. Like the detail on like the packaging, they make it exactly
know,
like you'd
right?
find at the store.
Dude, this lightsaber is insane.
Uh-oh, I think
So
somebody's
that's
wanting to
crazy.
keep that one.
Oh, I'm not. This is definitely Charlie's. I'm not gonna be able to steal this one.
So when did
That
these
is
mini
cool.
items really break through? Do you have a
Within the
history?
last couple years, I believe.
Okay.
I mean, I think they've been around for a while, but they've really started to pick up in the last
It's-
couple years.
I feel like it's all about the experience of breaking them open and seeing what's inside, right? It's
Absolutely,
like because you're almost double dipping at that point because you're getting if for Andrew to open it up on his own or for Charlie to open up on her own, you get that dopamine of oh what did I get? Oh, I got that, right? But then like there's so many people that want to record that. And people just want to watch other people open stuff, which is crazy. That's an actual thing. But people want to see other people win. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I do.
whenever
I know I do.
Yeah,
I love to see other people win.
Like
bro. It's
whenever
great,
I
yeah.
watch one of these, baseball card breaks or basketball card breaks, it's like I'm hoping that the guy's going to get the Michael Jordan rookie card in there. Like I'm waiting for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I think that kind of comes into our like as a humans like our like kind of one consciousness as people is we're like
Yeah.
we want to see that because we can like live vicariously through them to like, hey man, that may not be me, but like I feel what you're feeling, like I
Yeah.
felt that excitement. Because like the baseball card, like when you open it up, like if I see someone get a Marshall Faulk football card,
Yeah.
dude, I would watch that video over. I'd
Yeah.
watch it again, even though the same experience. I'm like, dude, he got a Marshall Faulk card. Like, just it is what it is. Just that nostalgia. I was 11 when they won the Super Bowl, and like the whole thing with the Rams, and it was just me at that time. And my aunt lived in St. Louis. All the combination led me to this nostalgic feeling. So anytime I see Rams merch from the past, and it just gets me. So like to watch someone open that and see the success, just like with the Bulls with Jordan with Jay, and it's just. It's like the one consciousness that we're feeling that like you're not feeling the envy or jealousy. You're feeling like excitement. Like, oh, yes, he got it. That could be me. I feel that, man. Like, so that's so cool. And like, I know it's really popular on YouTube to watch people open these balls, you know, to just a small ball that has the LL dolls or Disney products, or, I mean, that has everything with Star Wars, the Hawk.
Yeah.
Charlie will probably be most excited about the Hawk. She loves the Hawk.
oh really?
Yeah, she loves. So Disney has Spidey and Amazing
Oh
Friends.
yeah.
We watch it in the store.
Yeah.
Hawk's in that,
Okay.
and we see Hawk at the store, and he sticks out because he's so green.
Yeah.
He's like one of the most recognizable.
Does she
characters.
know Hulk smash?
Oh yeah.
Does she
She
smash?
knows Hulk.
Does she smash stuff at the house?
She
Hulk
we don't
smash.
do that anymore. She tried. She said that a few times.
we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, she got.
She was
did it
she was
for
trying
a
to take out the dogs, and we just had to.
Yeah, Howard, poor Howard. Howard literally had been put through it. It was his time, but yeah, like that's the thing is, she recognizes these characters, and when we're at the store and we're walking through, she'll point right away and see him. She'll be like, "Hey, it's Hawk." I'm like, "It is Hawk. He's, a 3-inch character on there." She's like, "That's Hawk. That's Hawk." I'm like, "It is Hawk. It's Hawk." She's like, "Can we get him?" I'm like, "Oh no, let's let Hawk stay. Let's put on put the Christmas list." So everything we go onto the list now. That's kind of how we've been framing it for like the last 3 or 4 months. Is like, put on your list.
No Hawk gloves this year?
Oh, you know what?
That
I
was
thought
really popular
I thought
a couple
about
years
it.
ago.
They just might be too big for her hands.
Might be.
That's the only thing.
I think they might have a handle in it though. I think I remember putting my hand in there and feeling a
handle, so just in case.
like
you're,
it's a grip.
Grab
It's like
hold
a
of the handle?
little foam
Yeah.
handle you can.
I feel like
hold on
that
to.
arm would probably take up or that hand would take up.
Oh,
half
that
her
would be
arm.
so cute, bro. We're getting that for her.
Bro.
We're getting that for
She
her.
would love it.
Yeah,
She
all
would
right.
love it.
All right.
She would love. She's. I mean.
Uncle Jay's getting it for her.
All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna stop you. But this year we're on Barbies. Barbies have finally made their way.
Oh, yes.
Oh man.
Barbies. Yep.
Yes.
So
But they aren't asked. I was really surprised. So the Barbie Dreamhouse was asked for quite a bit.
okay. Yeah.
But Barbies in general, I was really surprised. I think that movie actually sparked it in more adults.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Because the Barbie merchandise is going off the shelves, but kids aren't asking for it nearly as much as
Right.
I thought they would.
That's because they got the Bratz dolls or whatever those things
Well,
are.
they have those and the LOL dolls.
LOLs, yeah.
The American Girl dolls. Those
American Girl dolls have
those-
always been huge, man.
Yes. That's always kind of been a given. But I was really surprised the Barbies were not as popular.
I bet
as
you
was
Barbie
expecting.
surprised too. I bet you they were expecting a huge Christmas.
Yeah. For that
Well,
movie.
they're still going off the shelves.
Yeah.
They're
So
still
I
moving,
think
but-
the adults are buying them, anticipating the children wanting them, but the children weren't into the movie as much as the adults were.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
that's where it is.
They did frame that movie more of an adult movie,
For
though,
sure.
I think so. They didn't. Yeah, it is definitely. And then they had the other movie that kind of played like they all that the back and forth between that and the other movie that was nothing to do with the Barbie movie, but like they packaged it as a whole thing and it benefited both movies. But the kids, like she definitely, I don't know where she's finding the Barbies per se, because like it's hard to tell where Charlie's finding her interest at. You know what I mean? Because like I'm not physically on her level, and she's watching things and she's catching on and she's doing things with her mom, and there's
still
something.
a demand from the kids.
There's
it's
finding
just
it.
It's not as big as I was
That's crazy.
expecting.
I love those little packages, dude.
So
They're
the
so
kids are asking for Barbies, but not nearly as much as I thought they would be. The Barbie Dream House, that's the big one, and there's actually 2 sizes of those. So you can get a larger one, or if you can't quite afford the larger one, you can get a smaller one. The larger one is about $130, $140. The smaller one's about $80. Still not cheap,
Yeah.
Right.
but those have been asked for more than the Barbies have been.
No kidding.
Yeah, she wants that. She wants the Barbie house. There is definitely some housing might make its way, but it's just what she's asking for. It's like I don't even know where she's finding it though, because like whether it's advertising or something, but her little 4-year-old eyes are finding it, and she knows it's not up for this isn't up for like question. She knows what she wants. And I'm like, how did you find this though?
Right.
Like,
Because when we were kids, it was Saturday morning cartoons. It was the
Yeah.
commercials in between at least for me.
yeah. The commercials
It was
are-
like the
yeah,
only
me too.
only time I was
Me too.
able to see what I wanted was Saturday morning
Right?
commercials. The Crossfire.
Yeah. Now the commercials are on YouTube,
yeah.
so they're happening, but they're different. They're way more modernized.
Right.
You know what I mean? Spider-Man isn't like half the commercials. Spider-Man's still killing the game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's on everything. The Spider-Man shooters now you can get a web shooter thing. It works. They've really stepped up that technology
I'm
game.
gonna have to
But
try that. That's cool.
yeah, they've got a lot of cool stuff out there. It's cool. I'm not. She's not ready to buy that. We're still on the Barbie thing. Like we have Spidey stuff. Like with the little like Spidey Amazing Friends, Tracy little Spidey assistant, and it moves around the kitchen. I've got wood floors in it, like beep, 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 and it makes sounds and it talks and it follows you and stuff. That was a really cool toy, and that thing's lasted a while. So like Spider-Man is definitely in full running.
It will. I don't think that'll go away for a long time.
Yeah, and I think that's something because the parents too. The parents are nostalgia.
Yep.
Breeds them, and they're like, you know what?
That's why Ninja Turtles are still around, bro.
Yeah, I love Ninja Turtles, bro. That's definitely.
That's why.
Yeah,
Because you love them, not because she loves them.
right. But I don't. We don't. She's not. Ninja Turtles hasn't caught on for her yet. I don't really show her that much. Spidey is right everywhere because Disney Plus.
Yeah.
It's Disney. It's a Disney Plus app. It's the Disney. If I break it down, because Disney Plus advertises things so well, they're not advertising any toys. They're just putting they put the top of the screen. Watch Spidey and Amazing Friends right here, and you click it, and you're off to episode after episode.
Well, the younger ones, anytime you mention Cocomelon or Gabby's Dollhouse, they go crazy. Now we're talking about 1-2-year-olds; their eyes light up.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So, Cocomelon and Bluey.
Bluey's
big.
Bluey's still big in my house.
That's right.
Well.
And there's lots of toys and lots of things to do with Bluey out there still.
Yeah.
So those younger ages, those are really big for them.
Doc McStuffins. Do you ever hear much about Doc
Don't
McStuffins?
hear much.
Doc McStuffins. She's a doctor that basically took like the kind of like the Toy Story. It's a Disney Plus thing to a Toy Story where the toys come alive, but she makes them come alive with her stethoscope, and the toys come alive, and she hangs out with them, and then there's like a whole Doc McStuffins hospital, and then whenever there's a injured toy, she fixes them, and they go through the little process. And it's a really nice. It's a good show. Charlie still likes it. That was popular mainly for us last year, but she still sets up all the Doc McStuffins toys. Yeah, so that's one that that's definitely a popular. At one point, it was popular. I don't know where it stands now because we're kind of moving into the LOL stuff. We're kind of moving in because the 4-year-old spot is different than the 3, and every year's so different. You know what I mean?
That's right. Yep.
Like they're kids, but they change and they're interesting so quick, and it's been fun to watch. But definitely with toys purchasing, you see how fast they move on from stuff too. It's fast.
All right, Santa. So if any of these kids want to come down and see you, you've got a couple more days that you're going to be here before you got to bounce back out to the North Pole and get everything done. So your last day here on the levee is the 23rd, correct?
That's correct. I only have 1 day left.
1 day.
1 day, which is the 23rd.
Okay, and that is from
It's from noon to 6.
so full 6 hours you're going to be here, and then you got to go right to North Pole and knock everything out.
Oh yeah, lots to do, and help Mrs. Claus out.
For sure.
Yeah, she needs it. Sounds like she's
does.
been through it. But with her, like, when it's all said and done, where does she like to go for a vacation? What is her chosen spot?
Well, this past year we were at Coney Island. Excuse me.
Yeah, Coney Island. Okay, so we've seen Coney Island's.
But the
Coming.
beach is
The
an
beach?
option.
Yeah.
Well, not the beach here.
Yeah,
I understand there was a beach here at one time, but
yeah. You can go to any beach in the world.
that's right.
Yeah, we won't give out the secret where you're going to. But like the beaches are nice, you know.
But you never know. I may show up in July around here sometime.
Hey, there you go.
You never know.
Hey, Tyrell, I wanna ask you a question, man. What was the number one gift that you remember as a kid? Like the one gift that you got that was like, I can't believe that I've got it. It's finally here.
We were on the wrestling conversation, and I kind of grew up for a long time watching it and, you know, believing in it, and I still support the people that have been a part of it. But I would say John Cena came out with his own custom title belt of the WWE title, and it spinned, and it was dope. And
dope.
my dad got me that, and like, I wish I still had that picture. I was a small child, but like my face when I saw that thing, like that was probably the best day ever. It was great. So that was probably my favorite thing. My goal actually, because they make replicas that you can like have and stuff like that, I want to get a collection of like certain ones from like certain wrestlers. So the Undertaker retired, so I'd get his, and John Cena and The Rock, just to have like around the house. Centerpieces, I guess.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, just walk around the house with it over your shoulder, just
yeah,
slapping
man.
that
Like,
thing.
every time one of my teams wins a game or something, I'm like, man, we did that, you know, like that. Something funny, I don't know.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
All right, man. So Santa, we've got Mrs. Claus. She's going to be down here December 21st from 6 to 8. She's going to be doing story time and crafts, right? So
That's
kids
correct.
they can come down here and do some craft work with Mrs. Claus. And then the 23rd is what day is the 23rd?
That would be a Saturday.
Okay, so Saturday from 12 to 6, you're going to be down here. They can take pictures with you on the stage there, and it's all free, correct?
That's correct.
And that's one of the incredible things about what the levee's doing down here is, you know, the lines haven't been outrageous, so it's not like you're waiting 2 hours to see Santa like Kenwood Mall or other places like that, and charging $20 or $30. They're, you know, you can come down here, get a picture with Santa real quick. You can use your own phone to take the photo, right? And do you have like elves that are snapping the pictures for you?
Do have elves that will assist you if you have your camera and want to get a family picture.
Okay.
My elves are doing an amazing job, not only managing the line, keeping things moving fully, and making sure that I get to spend as much time as I need to with each child.
Awesome.
That's what's really important.
That's the big thing, man, because, you know, these kids, they come down and, you know, we've seen it before where, you know, during the pandemic when they wanted to do hours, you know, where like you'll get to spend an hour with Santa, and like people are coming down and thinking that, you know, I'm just going to get to meet Santa. It's like, no, you have to put in a time, and these you know, these little kids, they're all dressed up. This little 4-year-old girl's dressed up in a full, you know, dress with the stockings and stuff, and so it's really cool that to see that they can come down here and they can actually meet you and be a part of it and not have to wait 3 hours in line to actually, you know, ask to tell Santa what they want for Christmas, man. So I really appreciate you for being down here on the levee. I know you're busy, you got a lot of things to do, but for being a part of it and being a part of the levee experience, you know, when it comes to the levee, they're experience makers, right? So they want to give you the things that you can find at the malls, but they want to do it in an upscale fashion. Like that's the way that the levee's always been drawn. So, you know, doing this and this thing's been set up. This that's got to be 300 square feet of the gallery right there. That's just your stage for Santa. You know, so for them allocating that for you the entire December, and I hope you've done well. I hope Mrs. Claus is happy with what Mr. Claus has done. You know, and I can't wait to see you back here next year, man, because the amount of joy that exudes out of you needs to be seen with more people, because
for sure,
it's, you know, it's dark times, man. It's dark times, and we need people like you to really bring back the faith and like in family and like what's important. You know what I mean? Because it's not about the money. It's not about the cars or how much you have in the bank account. It's about the people that are around you and how happy they are. You know, and I can really see that like your goal is to just bring as much joy to every person that you come in contact with, and that's we need more of that, man. So whether it's doubling down on more Kris Kringles, whether it's doubling down on more Santas, whether it's doubling down on more of you, like we just need more of you in the world, and it's going to be a happier place, man. So I really appreciate you being the person that you are, doing what you're doing, and putting forth this effort to steer the next generation into the right atmosphere, man, because it's dark days, and you know these kids, man, a lot of these kids are lost, and they need somebody to look up to. They need some type of magic in their life. So if we can bring it during December, 100%, let's go for it. Like, and then we just got to work on the other 11 months.
Well, I have to say thank you very much, because actually getting to know you two tonight, it's been amazing. I've learned so much about you guys. I love the way that you look at things.
Yeah,
it's
man.
amazing. You guys, unbelievable. We need more like you guys in the world.
Thank you.
We really do. Understanding that people make mistakes, but understanding that people can be forgiven for those mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
And understanding there's many walks of life.
Yeah.
And how important it is to understand that there are out there.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And you guys brought that tonight. I love that. That is amazing.
Absolutely,
Hey.
man. Santa, I really appreciate it, dude.
man, appreciate you.
So if anybody wants to get a hold of you, North Pole Enterprises is your Facebook. That's
correct.
probably most of your social handles there. So North Pole Enterprises. If you want to get a hold of Santa, if you want to try to book him for an event or bring him in, I'm sure he's available to talk to you guys. So I think this might wrap it up. Santa, do you have anything else to say? Anything else you want to get out?
I just want to say Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Jesus,
Let's go.
All right, everybody. I love you guys.
Yeah.
Have a very Merry Christmas. We're not going to see you until after the holiday. So I love you guys, and we'll see you next week on another episode of the PowWow.
Yes. Thank you so much for this, and Charlie will appreciate it very much.
Kinley and Allie,
Yes.
come down here and
Yes.
see us. We'll make sure that we hook you up with Santa and get you your gifts for the week. We really appreciate you guys tuning in. And until next week, this has been another episode of the PowWow.
Appreciate you.
Hey,
So-
we're out of here. Merry
Later.
Christmas, everybody.
Yes, thank you.
Hey, check out this hat.
Oh,
The
man.
Christmas spirit took over.
Oh,
I think my limited edition hat might be ruined.
it's more limited edition now.
Yeah, one of a kind. Let's go.
That's a really one of a kind.
All right, everybody.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Time to
Be
tie-dye
safe.
that.
We'll see you next week.
Later, guys.
Hey.
Appreciate it. Hey, bye.